So, as I begin recording. So, last session you stumbled upon an Akteshi ruin, a burial site similar to the one in Mayland you encountered prior to arriving at the Ironsgate Wall, where you battled 4 elementals. However, it was serving as a nesting site for a flock of pteranodons. You began a debate with each other on how to approach this dilemma. A plan was hatched to scare off the pteranodons with an illusion and collect any eggs to relocate them away from any potential danger. You used an illusory visage to disguise Liska as a blue dragon, successfully scaring off the pteranodons. You secured the eggs, investigated this burial site, correctly identified the connection with the elemental powers. There were also the names of 4 giant clans associated with these elements: the Frostsworn, the Flame Forged, the Stormborn, and the Stone Speaker clans. You attempted to dispel any potential magic that might lay upon the central tomb between the 4 obelisks, but either the wards which protect this place seemed to detect something was attempting to mess with the protection magic, or you may have accidentally set off part of the triggering enchantments, unlocking the receptacle runes for elemental energy. So you quickly assaulted them with their corresponding elements, bludgeoning, fire, cold and lightning damage, and summoned 4 powerful elemental guardians. Nope, Steve's gone. You did battle, attempting to... You did battle, attempting to unbind them from their chains of planar binding. Dujar was knocked off the stone plateau, falling 200 feet, nearly to her death, had it not been for the death ward that Angus had cast on everyone prior. You managed to free 2 of these elementals and decimated the other 2. And you retrieved all of their essences left behind in their wake, and unveiled the tomb of this so-called Jarl Utir, a frost giant chieftain who, according to the written text, did battle with and felled many dragons. Among other things, you discovered his 2 hand axes and a massive stone tablet, or at least part of one, the 2nd quarter of a much larger artifact. So, with that, you headed back to the Steamhammer. After the rest of the day's travel, you found a place to rest and set up camp for the evening. So, I'm going to bring everyone back to that camp. So, Hammerstrike and Company, what would you like to do? As I make sure it is dark. Yeah.
Well,
Oh, spooky.
I wouldn't be on the tower. You would definitely.
Well, I
be
mean, this is a layover from last time.
Yeah.
Just move yourself where appropriate.
Yep. Give me a second. Over.
I'll check. How do I turn off effects again? What is the duration of Death Ward? It's not that long, is it?
It's like 8 hours.
Oh, okay. It might still be active. then.
Yeah, I think it would still be active then.
Quick, jump from the top of the roof.
Time to test it.
You know.
I love that going in any of the corners just removes an entire half of the map.
Yeah, it's the windows.
Yeah, I know. It's decorations. Oh god, it's a dinosaur. Shoot it.
So, what is everyone doing?
I mean, we ended with going to sleep, right?
I think we just made camp but hadn't slept yet. So I guess it's a case of if anyone wants to do anything before bed.
We went to the tent, or the tank. I don't remember us leaving where we were and getting back on the road.
I said last time you went back onto the road and found a place to camp for the evening.
Okay. Alright, that clears it off. So we've set up camp for the evening.
Yes.
Yep.
Angus would seek out Vellum at some point.
Oh yes, I remember why. Velen would probably be hanging out by the fire. Let's see.
Well, he'll be setting up his little now cooking tent and call out, "Oi, Vellum, question for you, lad."
Yeah. What do you need?
Well, how shall I phrase? I was hoping you may have a couple gems I could be interested in. You've got quite the collection, don't you?
Yeah, I've been picking a few up here and there. Anything specific? And he's already sort of reaching for his bag of holding it.
Looking for little red ones. Rubies.
Let's see here. He just sort of rummages for a moment. Got 2 of these, and he takes out 2 bloodstones. These are more orange than red, I don't know, but I got 4 of them. And he pulled out some carnelians. I got 1 of these, and it's a sardonyx. And I do have this one, but I kind of want to hold on to this one unless I can help it. And he pulls out a star rose quartz. Don't have the traditional rubies.
I see.
Them girls have been rinsing me dry with gems lately.
The what now?
Oh, Dejar needed some gems, and there was something else. We needed that bowl done as well, so my gems have been a little bit draining. Not that that's a bad thing, but might have less over time. Maybe I should start buying some. Anyways, those are the red ones I got.
He's just gonna kind of rub his chin for a moment in thought. Well, that's a bit concerning. I was looking for a ruby specifically. Not, just the red's nice and all, but, you know how certain stones or metals will have certain ways they'll react? Well, I was thinking more of that, for its very specific nature.
Well, if you're thinking like for magic reasons, I might have something. Give me a sec. And he saunter his way over to the wagon and hop in for a brief few moments. As I literally get it from the caravan.
Gotta love that immersion.
Hey, look, I'm a fucking method actor. What do you want? Well, I have these. They're I was kind of holding on to them for Anyway, and I posted it. Yeah. He comes out with carefully in his hands a variety, like in terms of variety of sizes, but they're all this sort of similar, just jagged but smooth shards of fiery red. This might be more in the ballpark of what you're thinking, but what I've figured, these might be useful for very specific magic stuff, so I've been just hoarding them. What exactly are you making anyway that needs very specific kinds of gems?
Well, not making. Focusing. I was gonna do a spell, and it wouldn't consume the gem, but having one to focus through would be helpful.
Oh, I guess I figured you were making something, what with you being a crafter and all. If it's not going to use it, then yeah, have at it. Go see how it works. And he'll just take like a nicely sized chunk and hand it to him.
Oh, thank you. Is this like an actual ruby?
It is described as a ruby dragon shard, so it's the only thing I have that resembles a ruby.
You can see
He's gonna immediately put a ruby dragon shard. What is this?
I will trade one to you so you have it in hand. I put a screenshot of the description in the hug chat as well if you...
Oh yeah, let me...
It's this sort of small cluster of actually this is probably one of the bigger ones, right?
A nicely sized one, yeah, so one of the bigger ones.
He's gonna...
It has a sort of vibrant, sort of reddish, dark, sort of vibrant pinkish coloration to it, like a deep, vibrant maroon color. You can see as you kind of shift it in the firelight. It almost has this sort of this prismatic glisten to it, almost like an oil spill refraction within it.
Liska and I found these when we were, it was after that war. You remember a town talking about...
Dravak.
Yeah.
How many of these do you have?
Well, I've got 3 more of them.
How would you like to do a trade? You see, the reason I'm wanting these, and the ruby specifically, is he's kind of looks side to side. I'm wanting to talk to a friend. And it would be useful to have these, because it's my great-grandpappy's friend. To a few powers, but you know what I mean.
Yeah, big dwarven family's that deal.
Yeah. So, how shall I say, as he's kind of looking between Vellum and Varima, this is difficult. I'm coming to terms with some things, and I'm trying to get some answers, but it seems I may have a great interest in these beyond just using them as some kind of spell reagent or in a potion or selling them off to a keep or something, you know. I'm struggling here.
Yeah, words are hard sometimes. Jenner, question.
Yes.
I don't remember if I specifically learned this or if I know just by examination. Basically, I as a player know these can be used to make fire resistant stuff.
Mm-hmm.
And that was my general thinking with them, and to eventually do so. But would I know that in character? So I can't remember if I had somebody look at them or if I just know from the nature of them.
Wouldn't that be like an alchemy thing?
That's the thing. It's been so
I
long
think
since
there
I
was a
looked
check.
at these things.
Yeah.
I think there
don't
was like
fucking
a
clue.
check that involved it, and you'd be like, "Oh yeah,
Yeah.
we can use this." Or
Otherwise,
Well, I mean, that's the
it
thing. I
was
can't remember
known
if
for
I
the
had
fact.
somebody look at them or not. Because it's been so fucking long since I
Yeah.
looked at these.
I think that you would have had someone look at it, or you would have looked at it yourself. Otherwise, I wouldn't have revealed the
course,
information
you would've.
that they'd be useful for fire enchantments.
Okay, so I must have asked somebody at some point.
Yeah.
Because
Yeah.
Bellum doesn't know magic shit. Anyway, back in character. Well, from what I know, these things can go in equipment or armor for fire resistance. That's about what I've been told. That's why I've been holding on to them for so long, but, you know, Angus, you don't have to worry about a trade. We're friends. Just, if you need one, take one.
Right.
And as for the Thousand Wise, I'm happy if you want to tell me, if you can find the words, but don't feel like you have to. You've got your reasons, and I trust you enough to know that they're good ones.
I'm just trying to come to terms with some things that are a bit different than what I was told, which turns out what it is. You know? And that might be something...
looks for a moment, and then... so you've learnt the truth about something you thought was different, and now you're trying to make sense of it?
Aye, pretty much.
Yeah. Well, that's pretty normal as far as this group goes. There's a lot of things we seem to be learning every day, and I thought it was just because of my inexperience, but apparently it's just weird shit that always happens, so this is pretty tight.
Unfortunately, that's one of our few consistencies, isn't it? Weird shit always happens to us. Or happens...
That and dragons finding us.
That's a bit true.
Rare creatures that few have ever seen, we've run into a lot of them. In the, few months, maybe even a year or so, we've been... Well, I personally have been in Mayland and a couple of the others, but...
Well, knowing our luck and my work, we'll probably run into another. Or two. No.
Hopefully nicer ones.
You know, I have to say, this was a lot more comfortable and easy when dragons were just a big mean batty that you go off and fucking slay for a story. But now there's bad ones, and there's nice ones, and there's old ones, and there's new ones, and... It's quite difficult. Why can't they just be big evil lizards that you just... dumb animals you just kill? And then, oh yeah, tasty treats and all that, but no, they had to be a fucking... I know, I'm sorry, I don't want to talk about it, because
it's
I know
fine. The fact is, I learnt this pretty early on. My shitheel of a grandfather, he had his war stories, and it was all bluster and always the highlights, but we've seen war, Angus, and we know it's a lot more complicated, so it just stands to reason that the stories, and there's always more to them. Way more.
I'm learning there's more to a story than I thought.
Things are simple when the writer wants them to be, and we think the things we do because they want people to think that way. Either way, help yourself to that.
Thank you. I may have to hold on to this for a little bit.
These things have been
but
sitting
apparently
in my wagon
something that's sentimental value.
And you think this will work for it?
This'll work a lot better than anything else. Because you said you got this after we fought off the gobos, eh?
Yeah, I was trying to find leads on star metal, and some of the folk in the hold had seen something fall down, or something. Some kind of fiery thing over the hills, so Liska and I, on an off day, went to go check it out, and we found these buried in the ground. Just scorch marks everywhere.
Well, I'm not looking for star metal, but I'm trying to find leads on orichalcum.
Oh, you and me both. That's the primo quality shit right there. The Legends metal.
Well, apparently me great to a power grandpappy made it.
Ah, that makes it a
With
lot closer
help
than
from that.
a lot closer than anything I've discovered so far, which is mostly book shit, and it's off in a jungle somewhere or some bollocks.
Would you like to take a look at some?
Just gonna narrow his eyes. You holding out on me, Angus?
No. And he's gonna reach for the chain that's underneath his armor and undo the little necklace, and he's gonna hold it by the chain for a moment, and he's very hesitant. Deep breath, and he holds it out to Vellum, and on the end is a very fancy rune.
It
Does it seem
has.
familiar?
No.
Okay.
Hang on. Was Vellum was there when Angus did that divine intervention to banish away that Slardy? Right?
Yes, I do.
Yeah, he was in
I
the room.
believe so, yeah.
He may not understand everything that happened, but he was
Yeah.
there.
So you would have seen this ring before, very briefly, but it kind of pinged across the room after that happened. This sort of flash of divine light, and then the resulting change of this sort of dark this ring, this signet ring of Nogdor that Angus has had for a while now. It changed into this, but now you're for the first time you're getting a really good look at it. It's made from this sort of bronzish, goldish colour with these glistening silver inlays, and this all throughout is woven this deep blue sapphire gemstones, and the metal you're unfamiliar with, this sort of bronzish colour, it is immaculate. It almost has this sort of fractal like quality to it, where the closer you look, the more and more sort of facets seem to be apparent in the metal itself. Like it's almost like bismuth.
Okay, I get you. Well, he's going to sort of look at it confused for a moment. He's obviously not going to reach for it because, he's being respectful like that. Where did you get this? This seems vaguely familiar for some reason.
You remember that horrible ring Lyska put on? And there was the frogman in it?
Sorry, give me a second.
No, it's okay. Let me just.
No, that wasn't a character, because you
Improv.
you really paused on the "Do you remember?" and I was restraining myself from going into the 21st night of
First night.
and I kind of choked.
I never forget that fateful night. The night we fought the slutty. The 21st night of September.
Sorry, I
Burst into
actually
dance.
choked holding it back, and I actually needed a second. Okay.
It's alright, I got it all out.
That thing, that was when you purified that shit, right? With all that light.
Aye.
This
So
is
this-
what came out of it.
Was Nogdor's ring. The cannibal king. The high king, the lad that we all fought together off, that invaded the capital. But
Sure, I
there's
would hell of a
another-
jewelsmith, apparently. And you're sure this is orichalcum?
I know it because this was made by Oldmar.
I'm gonna need some context here.
me great to a power grandpappy, who made this with the help of the only ruby dragon on my own. That relit that magical forge we learned runecraft at. As some sort of bloodline deal that goes way back in my blood. So I'm trying to figure out who this Dravik is right now, and it's very helpful to have this gem you gave me.
Well, if it was his, which it seems like it is, then that would definitely help. And you're thinking he's the same one, or like a relative of it, or something?
Either or. It's either the same one or a descendant, perhaps. But that was 500-ish years ago. And stories predate that. So that's just what special magics have revealed about this. Even vague as it may be, there's probably more to it. It doesn't tell me everything about the other person, just this, and he cut off there. But I do know it to be certain that
This entire conversation, Bellum's, like, save for the brief glance on the more serious statements, his eyes have been locked on the ring the entire time, sort of even moving his head and body around it to lean its facets and whatnot. That's quite the bombshell. You holding out on any other metallurgical secrets, Angus? He's almost saying jovially.
Well, he points to your wagon. That's made of a.
Sorry, go on.
That's made of a type of gold that came from the high heavens themselves.
His head's just gonna wheel around, looking over his shoulder at the wagon.
Oh no.
You know, I was joking, right, Angus? I didn't think you had any. He's just sort of looking back and forth a little bit. Jenna, would I know about angelic gold given my, know thy enemy mentality with the fucking...
Just make me a history check with advantage, considering metallurgy is your specialty.
Can do. Shame being smart isn't my specialty.
Imagine, you've been riding around in a carriage made by heresy gold.
Heresy gold.
I mean, you've never really... You've only heard about it briefly as like an offhand thing. You thought it was a sort of
propaganda.
Yeah. Propaganda by the High Chalice.
Huh.
Why do you think it's so good at steering off all the undead bits when we were in the bog?
Well, I'll be honest, Angus. I just thought it was superior craftsmanship.
Well, thank you.
And now
the irony of taking that and putting your own holy symbols on it isn't lost, and I thought you would appreciate it.
Oh, that's fucking hilarious.
Now that you kind of...
be honest,
you kind of examine this a bit more closely after he's just mentioned this. The metal of the wagon. There's a striking similarity to the same metal you saw Selma Dawnbringer's sword was made out of.
Yes. He's still just sort of looking back and forth, like, over his shoulder. Huh. I heard bits and pieces about that thing, but I figured it was just a bit of made-up lark with the Commonwealth. I'll be honest, looking at it now, I wouldn't be surprised if they just took some really nice metal and slapped their fucking faith on it. They do like making up shit.
I think this one's true.
You
At
think the
least
angels
this-
gave them some fancy metal?
Or it was lost and mankind learned how to recreate it, and it spread about. I would not put it past those creepy folk to make
Put their
something
own
so
spin on it.
powerful. Aye.
Yeah, because I'll be honest, if it was angel metal, I think we wouldn't be able to... You wouldn't be able to do anything with it, and I definitely wouldn't be safe carting around in it. So, you know, I'll believe what I want to believe in that they're lying shit. But, fucking hell,
He
Angus.
shrugs. Maybe it's not angel, and he pats his shoulders. Maybe it's just divine, and that's why I can do it, after enough practice learning how.
See, that I believe more.
And that's the thing. Heavenly, like the heavenly bodies, as he points up to the moon, and, well, whatever the other one went, doesn't necessarily mean only angelic. Eh? He elbows at him.
Yeah, that's fair enough.
So, that's pretty much the secret, aside for something I'm working on at the moment with some platinum and gold, but, it's a different story right now. I'm trying to figure out this, as he holds the chain with the ring, and this, as he holds the shard that you gave him, and see how they work together, as he taps them.
And here I thought I had a long workload. You have got a lot of projects. Well, best of luck with it. Though, at some point would you be willing to teach me how to work with that business? Much as I don't like using angelic anything, I figure, well, I am trying to learn all the metals.
Heavenly, and I'd be
Heavenly.
very happy to.
Well, we can get to that at some point. Like you said, you've got that business going on. Neil gesture towards the ring and gem and whatever platinum gold thing you got going on. And if you need a hand with that, I'm more than happy to.
Oh, yeah, he'll fish one out. You've been helping me. This is nowhere near the value. But I would like for you to have one sort of look at it and, you know, you can tell me what you think.
Did say you didn't have to trade, but if I'm not gonna be rude and refuse. Neil look to see what we're doing a trade.
Yes.
Oh,
I've been working on these as a small size, high value density bar to use for magical crafts.
he'll sort of like hold the heft in his hand, sort of turn it over, look at its details. That is a very shiny lump.
That's the point.
So like platinum slats and bars, and this would be above that or something.
Aye. It
Well,
is.
it definitely looks fanciful as all shit. You probably got to get the banks to buy into it though.
Not if you're starting your own bank and your own temple. Your own treasury, you could say. Treasure hoard, stockpile.
Oh, you're using your leverage to insist that it's a thing.
And he kind of takes a breath and he pauses for a moment. I don't want it to be. But if what's been said is true, then I need to make sure there is something secure that hasn't been meddled with. And it's just that.
Ominous, but well, whatever fuels your work is all fair game in these cases. And he will sort of he will hand it back. I appreciate you letting me take a look at it, but this definitely should stay in your hands.
Sure. Alright. Well, I'm gonna go have a very uncomfortable sending.
Well, I'll try and make sure nobody bothers you.
Thank you.
One last thing. Kind of just popped back in my brain. At some point, Sal wanted to talk to you about something me and her have been tossing around back and forth, project-wise.
Oh, it'd be very.
It's going to be a whole thing, so get what you need to out of the way, and we can circle back to it.
Okie doke. You just get me when you need me, and I'll help you out.
All right. Well, good luck talking to whoever. Dravik, right, that was it. I mean, it kind of sounds like dragon, so I mean, it really should stick in my brain a bit better.
Steps back out the tent. You would think that they would do something a little more subtle, but no, they don't. That's all he's got.
The film will just go back to sitting down and hanging out.
Alright.
Is it spooky sending time?
I mean, I could have that be an off-center thing, unless Janner wants that to be brought to attention. I mean, we just had a little bit of a longer thing. I don't want to take up even more time.
I think it's safe to assume that if you want to have like a spooky sending where you get to know stuff, that can be done on its own.
Yep.
Okay.
Not unless Janner wants this to be a public thing. I'm fine to move on to somebody else.
This is up to you. This is Angus's moment.
If it seems important, so I'm fine with it being in the foreground, but it's a case of whether you want it to be quote-unquote known or not.
Yes. Okay, sure.
Okay then.
Seems like a big deal.
So,
It kind of is.
how do you set up this sending spell?
Quite simple. He goes to something a little simple, rather than the big forge and everything that he made. He'll go to something very fundamental to him. He'll go to his basic little stove, where he first began experimenting with smithing, and he'll just have the little ring. He'll coil the chain it's on and set it on top of that. And he'll have just that shard of breath. And he'll hold on to that close. And that ring in front of him with his focus there. And he'll just cast that spell. A remarkably simple and humble. He's not going to create a grand rune or anything like that. He'll just say, "Hello, I'm Angus, Brackenbrick runesmith. I fixed the ring. Thanks for Oldmore and Druvenholm. One day we should meet. I'll make gifts. What's your favorite?" As he focuses on this chunk of the breath of that dragon and the name of Dravik and that memory of even that dwarf he saw, let alone what Liska described as the red giant mountain. And he'll try and find whoever that may be.
As you say those words, you finish and take that deep breath. Knowing what you know now, if that information you've researched is correct, This could be the first contact anyone of your lineage has made with this entity for centuries. You finish weaving the runic sigils through the air, fingers trembling just a little bit. And the spell finishes. The message is spoken to the ether and you await a response. And you wait and wait with bated breath. Normally, with the sending spell, you hear only words, but you hear nothing. Whether it's gut instinct or a strange quirk of the spell this time, perhaps the ruby shards you've used as a sort of component for this spell, or perhaps something to do with this apparent blood oath you've been learning about. You swear you sense a dubiousness from the other side, followed by a deep curiosity. But not only that, but power. Great power. A presence wise beyond its years, far, far greater than what you felt in the presence of Dengar Lumor. And then the window closes, the spell fades. It connected with something.
That's never happened before. Oh shit. He peers up. Side. It's dark. He realizes he's far more west. Hope I didn't wake him up. And he goes back into his little tent, trembling.
Okay. So, what's everyone else doing?
Sorry. Unless anyone had anything urgent, I think there's a thing in text that Dejar could bring to the forefront, or rather, Spice could bring to the forefront.
Yeah.
Snack down. So to continue off from what happened in text. I'm guessing that was your first time taking a fall like that.
Yes. It
Well,
was.
I could say some bollocks like it'll get easier or you won't fall as much, but doesn't change that it hurts like a bitch. You kind of feel it in your bones for a long time, but that feeling will fade. Well, as long as you don't fall off anything else.
Yara keeps her voice very low. Her eyes are still locked on fire. And her hands are gripping that sun staff very tightly. And she switches to Serpent Tongue for this. Why do we continue living?
He'll respond in kind in Serpent Tongue. It's not as eloquent as hers, but it's plain enough to get the point across. Ancient, that is a dark question. There are many reasons. Why do you think of that?
Another pregnant pause. Ever since that fall, question from the Morbog has been raced in my mind. One still don't have an answer for. Given what I have failed in, I need an answer. I don't think you can give me one, because I think everyone else has their own reasons to live. I just need someone to listen.
Ben will sort of just put his hands on his knees and lean back a little. I have come close to death, and worse things still. He does pause after that last statement before sort of shaking his head a little and staring back up at the stars. There are two ways that I know. Two reasons for continuing living. The first is to use what drives you. I make, and so I live to make. It's clear that from the pauses that he's trying to find the right words, but his lexicon is a little lacking, we'll say. The other way to live is spite. You live not because you or others want you to. You live to spite those who don't. You live because the world, your enemies, sometimes luck, fate. Sometimes fate. You live to spite those bad things against you.
But what if you don't have a reason? What if you're just wandering, taking on so much? It feels crushed.
Those
be honest.
Sorry.
I'll be quick. For all the things done up to a certain point, from then on, not much good has happened. So he's trying to find something, anything,
Those who wander always search, even if they don't know why. Things are found eventually. Everything is found in time. And if you have no drive, no goal right now, you live for spite. To spite. Words. You live out of spite to those who do not want your success. And you say you have done or seen or lived in bad things. Then live until there is good, until you do good, until the scale is balanced. Dying too soon leaves an emptiness, a lack of balance.
you see her eyes just roving like she's reading something. To put it simply, this one seeks a purpose, or no, better way of saying it, desires or toward a goal. To leave a mark on her world, but I don't know where to begin.
You begin by living. The rest will come.
He will switch to trade tongue. You think so?
He'll nod and pause, almost seeming like he's just staring off into space for a moment. He's still speaking in serpent tongue. And he just says with a surprising amount of eloquence, compared to the mishmash of pauses and simple languages he's been displaying up until now. Lucky are the few who know their purpose early. But those late are gifted with the experience of finding it. And he'll switch back to trade tongue. Certain someone told me that a long time ago.
Have the wisdom of the elders.
Well, I wouldn't let her catch you saying that.
If you don't, I will.
Get some rest, Ashar. You don't exactly walk off a big fall like that.
Her limbs are very... be a tremor in her hands as he touches her head.
Yeah,
Yes,
let me
so-
help. He'll get up and move over and offer a hand.
Thank you.
And with that, he'll help her up and into the tower.
No, if he goes straight to the tower, I want to go in the wagon.
Oh, more space for your tail? Yeah, I get that. Just, in typical Vellum fashion, missing the point entirely, he helps her over towards the wagon.
Okay, and with that, we bring Dajar for to rest for the evening.
Permanently.
That is dark.
I'm in a bit of a goofy mood.
Stab her in the sleep.
Let me cock my dagger.
Yeah.
Oh wait, it slides my hand open. Whoops.
Racing.
I'm done.
Is there anything else anyone would like to do for the evening?
I've been sort of considering a few things. Most of that requires me to talk with you about, well, specifically crafting stuff, because we have rune crafting for spell scrolls or spell runes. Just we don't actually have crafting for spell scrolls.
That's where you need.
Simple and raw, right?
I think you need calligrapher's supplies for that.
I do.
Which I believe Dajar is working on.
Also, I think, doesn't Sao have like the multi-tool or something?
I do. I also know calligraphy.
Well, there you go.
You can use,
Yeah.
just go ahead and make them by roll.
Probably gonna make some first levels then.
Okay.
If they're W fast.
And how long do those normally take? For you as an artificer?
Take me like 8 hours.
Okay. So you could probably start work on one now and finish it in the morning.
Yeah.
All right. So what spell scroll are you looking to make?
Let's see. Probably gonna make a few feather falls.
Okay then.
Because
So I don't have those as a
they
scroll,
seem
but I
handy.
can. I don't have those as a scroll made yet, but I can do that to the end of the session. So, we'll just say that you come the morning. If you kind of spend that time during the morning finishing off your spell scroll, you'll have one featherfall spell scroll.
Yes.
Nice.
Because they seem handy to have, right, Dajar?
I knew where this was coming.
Okay.
I mean,
Scrolls
would you
do help.
prefer not to have one?
I would love to have them.
Alright. I I'm gonna deduct the crafting stuff for that. I do have to manage how many sheets of parchment I have for it.
Okay, so aside from that, is there anything else anyone wants to do? Because if we're all good, we're gonna head on to the next few days of travel. Anything that might happen in between. Going once. Going twice.
I think it's a no, Jen.
Okay,
Don't worry.
okay.
Good. We'll interrupt you if we have something
Yes.
we want to do urgent.
Alright, so as morning comes, without issue, your watches go uninterrupted, thankfully. We'll head out for the next few days of travel.
Morning thing, Janer.
Oh yes, okay.
I am going to Sending Stone Resmond
Right.
before I forget again.
Alright, as everyone's
It will be at a respectable time of the morning,
yes.
however.
So this is like just before we're about to head off onto the road, as you've all packed up your
Maybe
things.
like an hour into travel.
Yeah, okay.
I'm not gonna go too crazy on the early morning. Okay, so this is 25 votes. Good. Sorry, I just sort of threw this together. He'll get the stone out, make use of its charge. Good morning, Miss Rasmond. Hope you slept well. Group spoke longer on plans to relax. Wondered if our fight could be changed to our arrival.
The response comes through. Not groggy this time, thankfully. You don't appear to have awakened her from a slumber.
It was in the shower, you bitch. Sorry. I apologize. I'm in a giggly mood today. Carry on.
Oh, a bit short notice, but I will see what I can do. And that's about it.
Yep. I can't
Clear.
respond because one charge.
Clear, concise, to the point.
Yep.
Much like Resmond.
Velen does have a habit of making the most of his words. Shame he can't do that with his fucking spoken words. But yes, that was all I really had to do.
Okay.
Besides crafting, but that'll be in the background.
Alright. So, you continue your travels the next few days. Again, if anyone would like to do anything during these next few days, speak now. So we'll continue on with the travel. So,
Everything I need to do, done retroactively.
the arid dunes become barren shrublands, which eventually gives way to brush and grasses of various types. You can see towering old carved ruins that seem to sort of jut out from the ground at odd angles, some of which are partly eroded from time, and others are partly collapsed. One enormous ruin off to the side of the road, some 100 feet or so, looks like it may have once been the leftovers of some larger structure many thousands of years ago, but has now been left for the elements to consume. And of course, from what you've all experienced so far, these are, presumably Akteshi origins. Let's see. Talali and Sayun, both of you noticed this first. Accompanying these ruins are a number of great statuesque remains of humanoid figures carved into stone. Parts of the faces are sheared away from erosion. Part of an arm protrudes from the ground. Much of the surrounding shrublands and dirt have sort of grown over it. And in the centre of this ruin appears to be a massive lopsided and broken altar about 10 feet tall. To most it might appear to be just a large slab of irregular flat rock if it weren't for from what you swear you can see, Talali. From this distance appears to be giant text etched upon it.
I am Ozymandias, gaze upon my might and despair.
Like text in giant or just large text?
Large large text, which is why you can make it out from here. But from what you saw up on the top of those ruins, very similar stylings of text that you can't read them.
Alright. Would I know any history in regards to these ruins? Like things I've heard, rumors?
Yeah, go ahead and make me a history check. Oh. It's a strange ruin that surprisingly, being that you're well travelled, you've not actually seen these before or noticed them.
Cool. Yeah. Sal's just sleeping in the back.
I mean, we didn't get to.
I also forgot to do that. Let me just do that.
Yes, you all no longer have Death Ward on you, by the way.
There goes my temp HP. Ooh.
And Angus is still drunk driving.
I mean, it's fine. It'll work out.
You have no idea how tempted I am to make a tanker of sobriety for him so he
Bit,
can drink faster and drive safer.
Actually, Angus is completely sober.
Oh, okay then.
Ooh.
Long rest remove alcohol.
Right.
Yes, they do.
Dinner. I want to still read that the Black Leather Journal.
Oh, okay. Wait, hold on. What? Why is Angus wounded?
I don't know. Why did I just die?
I don't know.
What?
Oh no, he
The text starts to
sober
veer
just
off.
killed him. This is why dwarves drink. If they get sober, they die.
Hey man,
This-
alcohol's like one of two things that can kill you when you stop drinking.
They're inside
Why
the
am I
soap
hurt?
pickle.
Just go ahead and change it yourself. There you go.
There you go.
The
Okay.
fuck?
I like how there's a bit
Worry.
of splatter in front of the tank now.
Oh, my toe!
It's
Oh,
coughing up blood like nobody expects tuberculosis.
Oh, the artery in my toe.
It haunts me forever.
Yeah.
Forever it will.
All
Right,
I'm gonna
the
say, buddy,
Shot in the hoof.
and you're to blame. All I'm gonna say is you can't have liver failure from drinking if you just cough up the diseased part of your liver.
We just don't have
Uh,
the liver.
Yeah. You might suffer a
That
bit
just
of
feels
internal
bad
bleeding, but
blood
hey ho.
advice.
Well, if you want
Hey,
bad
whatever
advice,
works.
I'm the man to go to.
Oh boy.
So, do you wish to approach these ruins or just go past?
Is Angus made aware of them?
I
That's
mean,
a
that
dangerous
depends
question.
that depends on Sal. Because Talali's just like, okay, that's interesting.
It's like, yes, I've been here. This is a thing.
Alright, can I recognize that it is written in giant?
Do the stylings of the text is familiar to you? Of course, if you don't speak Giant, you're not able to read them.
Just, can I recognize them?
Yes.
Good enough for me. Sarah just sort of panning out around, and then as she spots them, she gives a sort of look to Talali and nods in the same direction. Is that what I think it is?
We don't know what you think it is.
It looks similar to the runes we saw back then.
Yeah, it looks to be giant. There were a lot of giants around here a long time ago.
Angus would fucking beat me if I didn't tell him. And she sort of... She
Only
doesn't
if he
ping him
finds
over
out.
the earring. She just sort of leans down and sort of taps on the... What is it actually called on a tank?
Just a roof.
the hood, slaps the hood.
The
You can
roof,
fit all
the roof of the hood.
Yeah. She's gonna make him aware and just sort of speak up, you know, besides the loudness of the down there. Angus, I think there might be more giant
It's a dwarf.
giant stuff up ahead. It looks like it's a giant statue, more specifically.
And a number of larger Aktishi ruins that look like there may have once been a larger structure thousands of years ago.
Do we want to investigate it and get more things?
I mean, it would be worth just having a bypassing look on.
Yeah, let's.
You
stick
know,
to
a passing look wouldn't hurt, would it? As the tank begins to veer in that direction.
Once,
just a sudden turn is like a passing look couldn't hurt.
just veers off road.
As he's turning the tanks, I was just giving him like a look, like she's not saying it verbally, but her eyes are just saying, "You're the one controlling this damn thing." But yes.
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 Alright, so you veer your way off the side of the road and begin your approach to this large series of ruins. You can see remnants of enormous, thick stone walls that have stood the test of time. You know, once more, it sort of it goes to show you the sheer amount of craftsmanship that's gone into that went into much of the Akteshi architecture here. Whomever were the masons of this empire may have been masters of their field, and very few are might be able to replicate it in even today. Yeah, much akin to all those how would I put it? Like those conspiracy theories about the ancient pyramids. How oh, no one will be able to replicate these today. But you get the idea. But as you kind of approach, you kind of step off from the steam hammer, not shut it down. You put it in. You halt it for the moment. Yeah, put it in park. And we're doing theatre of the mind for this.
Sorry for spam.
So, Angus, I would like you to make either a history check or an investigation check using your what was it? Stone cunning. There we go.
Stone cunning?
Yep.
Okay. I will use.
Oh, I thought that was
Man, I
doing
love wasting rolls on making metal.
Thanks, buddy.
You just took away Angus's nat 20.
Didn't mean to, no. I'll give it back, I promise.
Force a fucking nat 20 himself.
That's it. Investigation or history?
Yes.
I wish my
You
history
want a side of +4?
instead of intelligence. Sure.
So, +4 with the
Side of +4.
23.
23.
Yeah, I love that.
Okay. Much of this text is sort of fractured and partially eroded, kind of split across multiple various fragments of what remains of the altar. It's kind of difficult to put together into a single congruent text, but you're able to pick out a few names here. Grolgor.
So I was helping by drawing out actual lines between rooms.
Ah, okay.
I got justified somehow.
Mm-hmm. Makes sense. So as you and Sal both work together on this, you pick out a few names. First is Grolgor. The second is Scoreus. The third is Stronmaus. The fourth is Surtur. And the fifth is Thrym.
Bless you.
In fact, make me a religion check, Angus.
Okay, I'm good at those.
$22. So, from your studies, these are the names of the giant pantheon. At the height of its power, the Akteshi Empire made the worship of the giant pantheon its state religion. Grolgor was the giant god of hunting, hill giants, and battle. Scoreus was the giant god of stone giants, craftsmanship, and that which is buried. Stronmaus was the giant god of the sky, weather, seas, and storm giants. Surtur, the giant god of the forges, fire, war, destruction, and fire giants. And finally, Thrym, the giant god of cold, ice, and the frost giants. And it occurs to both of you that this place may have once served as a temple of sorts, perhaps a shrine at a crossroads.
He'll convey that information over the earring of where they're at and the brief bit of history of it. Is anyone interested in investigating? Sightseeing?
You just hear over the earring, no.
I don't mind so long as we don't get ourselves into trouble.
I wouldn't mind spending perhaps another hour just looking around here, but we do kinda need to go.
Alright, we'll remember this is here as a landmark. Do you want to spend the hour, Saoyun? I mean, it seems some of us are just saying no.
I mean, wait, didn't people say yes?
Jar said no,
Sure,
so...
Oh, okay, Jadar said no, okay, sorry.
I would like to at least take a look around. Because you mentioned this being a temple, and temples usually hold, well, a lot of hidden histories and that kind of stuff. Usually in the worlds. And knowing these are giants, and we've seen what they can do with stone, well, likely it's going to be well preserved somewhere. He sort of gestures around to the amount of dirt, sand, and rubble somewhere. But if we don't find anything within the hour we are looking, we can always come back.
Right. So it seems Saoyun wants to stop for at most an hour and just look around the place.
What time of day is it?
It is currently midday.
Just because it'd be like, why not just stop for lunch or something, and people who want to look can look, and other people can eat.
There you go.
But you can eat while you look.
You know, I've never been here before. I'd like to at least stop and, sightsee.
Well, Liska's idea sounds sound. Let's stop for lunch.
It does.
And, yeah, if people want to look around, they can. If they don't, then they can eat.
Right. I'm a pull us over for a lunch break. If you want to search, you don't have to. There's our. No worries. For those of us that are interested, well, sandwiches.
Plus, we can get to stretch our legs a little. Because we don't do that often enough, I would say. At least not stretch our legs without accidentally doing something that is near fatal.
How does Sal walk? That she's like
Long kicking strides. She
almost
people.
dies while walking.
He was referring to the fact
Break
that
your leg
usually...
right off.
The Ministry of Silly Walks.
Listen, she was referring to the fact that whenever we would quote-unquote stop for like a rest and have a look at something, usually we'd end up doing something near fatal or close to.
Oh, so you're not goose-stepping people in the shops?
No. That's your thing.
What? Why?
You're the one with the sword.
I
You're
often
the one
strap
with the
my
gun.
swords to my legs wildly. It's fine.
Yes.
Okay, so
I get you.
are you stopping?
Yes.
It seems
Yeah.
to be so.
Okay.
Stopping
We
for
are
lunch.
stopping, but we're not stopping for that long.
Yeah, not too long. Like the time it takes to have lunch, to cook and have lunch.
We're stopping at the temple thing.
Okay. Stop there for a moment. And you mentioned wanting to look around?
Yeah, we're mostly going to be looking for like an hour at most. Because we do have a beach party to attend to.
Yes.
No fighting ring to get to.
True.
Okay, so who's heading this investigatory expedition?
Probably Sal.
Don't forget your
No,
pit.
She's one of
Angus.
the brightest eyes, the sharpest eyes.
Eyes like the sky.
Right. What am I rolling?
You are rolling an investigation check, please. 25. Jesus
Just
Christ.
casually throwing
These-
out numbers.
These rolls, man. These rolls.
I mean, I could
hot.
make it a 29,
Swag on everybody.
but knowing the progression of how DCs are, probably find something good either way.
So it takes you a long time to sort of peruse over all these ruins. It would seem that sort of being that this place is at a crossroads, most anything of value that one might immediately find has either been lost or taken. You even notice places where you'd normally find gold inlays and gems embedded into the walls, which are now barren, having likely been taken or unearthed many years ago. But there is one glimmer that you catch out of the corner of your eye. And it's within one of the stone walls here, near the altar itself. You catch over that briefest moment. It's a split-second moment as the sun seems to catch at the right angle. And it's around one of the bricks, these massive stone cyclopean-looking bricks in the wall. It's around there that you see that glimmer of gold.
She's gonna call over Angus. Angus, over here.
Hey?
And she's gonna A, point out where it is, and 2, carefully try and sort of make it more visible.
You kind of retrace your steps to where you saw that glimmer of gold until you catch it right at that just right angle. And you notice it's right where the seam of the stone meets the masonry, like between the bricks. And bear in mind, these bricks are massive. They're about the size of Angus.
That's a big brick.
We're talking Pyramid of Giza style stone. It's much less a brick and more like just a massive slab of stone.
More of a brick shit house.
Yeah.
No, that's good.
Nah. Brick shit house is Angus after bread day.
I'm guessing I can use prestidigitation to sort of help clear out the dust.
Okay, you can certainly do that. And as you do that, it becomes a bit clearer. There is a seam between the bricks where you can see that glimmer. And it's right in the darkness. It appears to be something emitting that glimmer from behind the stone slabs.
What do you make of this?
What do I make of these? Interesting. Something definitely is back there. Oh, of all the days not to have stone shapes prepared. At least I have me old trusty backup. Chisel. You know, I could probably get this stone open and out the way. You want to see what it is, if you don't mind cracking open a stone?
I don't mind. I'm just worried that any of my spells would be a little too destructive to use.
Disruptive? How so?
Well, I can cast Shatter on it, but it is not precise.
Oh, yeah, something behind it. Let me show you some precise work. You remember way back in that cave where them fellers were trapped in the cage? Had to get through that door. Let me show you something. See, palm's width here, and he starts measuring out expertly on the stone. And you see, alright, so this brick, right, the grain of it's cut this way, so put a little notch there, and one there. Alright. All I'll do is just drive a few wedges into this. You take the little chisel, you make a line, and then you just tap from top to bottom. It'll follow the grain, and it will split wide open.
Okay.
It doesn't even take all too long.
So I was watching with great intent.
Okay, interesting.
So yeah, he's gonna follow the grain structure of the stone, and he's just gonna drive some simple mason wedges between it to split the stone in the way that you would split it to make a brick.
Okay.
And he's just gonna split the brick into smaller pieces so that it can just be moved out of the way and somebody can get in there. Maybe somebody small like Grunka, make enough room for him to go low.
Okay, that's clever. Go ahead and make
Does
me
take only half the time.
Make me a check with your stonemason's tools.
Fantastic. Would stone cunning be able to apply for this to be able to locate the structural integrity and weakness of this?
You know what? Sure. Just roll me a d4 and add that.
Alright.
I mean,
where is my... Oh, it's under inventory. That's where it is. Oh wait, isn't there a special macro?
Yes. Have you not put it in your
No.
Yeah, it's called,
I had it in my tabs, but it
it's
but
called,
it was removed in the past.
Yeah, you gotta add it back in. It's called a tool check.
Okay, access that.
You see the bottom left on your action bar, that folder icon. You click that and search for tool check. All one word.
Oh, yeah. So now I have to re-add it.
Just drag it back onto your action bar.
Okay.
Hopefully it should work.
I'm gonna give myself guidance for that. And you said I could get a bonus D4?
Yep, from your stone cunning.
You wanna... I'll probably be fine. Yeah, I'm fine.
31.
Yeah, probably be fine. Yeah, whatever.
be fine, you
Casual
say.
31.
As you break the
Expertly.
impossible easy.
Yeah. Just expertly, whoever crafted these enormous stone slabs has got nothing on you. Hey, they've got nothing on you. As it doesn't even take you this long. Takes you about give it 15 minutes or so to sort of put in the wedges, find that right weakness in the stone that you can find. Even though to most casual sort of inexperienced stonemasons who just stonemasons and construction workers, this would be nigh impenetrable stone, but not for you.
But not to a dwarf.
I have to say, this is so much more relaxing when you get to really take your time, when you don't have Malgrick breathing down your back.
And you'll just hear this sort of ting 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 ting, and this rumbling of stone as something not shatters, but you hear a dull thud, and there's this crack that splinters straight through the stone, and you once again do the same thing along another length of stone, another thud, another crack, and after about 15 minutes you have some neatly sized about the size of your head, Angus, sized chunks of these stone bricks. You can quite easily remove if you give it a bit of a wiggle, and you kind of grind it out.
That'll be a nice souvenir.
I was just watching Angus make perfect bricks out of this giant brick, just like it's casual, just what the actual fuck.
Yeah, it's well practiced. His hands seem very trembly, very shaky. From the times you may have worked with him, that's something you may have noticed, especially when it comes to this. He has a little bit of the shakes in his hands and his fingertips, but other than that, when it actually comes to the bigger movements of swinging the hammer, it's quite accurate, it's quite consistent. He knows quite where to put it, even if it might be a little bit off here or there.
Talali, it's not too dissimilar to how some of the stonemasons of the dynasty have sort of reshaped larger Akteshi abodes into living quarters for the smaller human folk.
Mm-hmm. I mean, yeah, makes sense. Like, you have a lot of room. It's already pre-built.
Oh yeah, yep.
Yeah.
So, as you kind of take out these bricks one by one, the light the light shines into this this sort of small 10 by 10 foot hollow in this thick 15 foot thick wall, and you see where that glimmer is coming from. Sort of propped, slightly dented and propped up against the side of the wall, covered in eons and eons of dust and moss and build-up of weathering that's kind of seeped into here, is a large golden bowl, infused with it, sort of set with all sorts of ruby gems and glistening filigrees and other Akteshi runes.
How do you feel about soup for lunch?
Now just gives a sort of puzzled look to Angus, like, what are you talking about? And then she looks to the bowl and just goes, huh. Doesn't sound that bad.
Aye. What a nice bowl it is. Reminds me of a lot of the one that we made, for the fight against Warthax. I wonder if I could use it for the same spell. Looks about crazy enough.
It is at this moment, Sal will just sort of think for a moment. Can she judge the size of this bowl?
It looks...
Because knowing these are giants, it's probably kind of big.
It's about 5 feet in diameter. You could probably take a small bath in it.
Sal just sort of looks back to Angus. Do me a favor. Walk up to it.
Angus walks and gets smaller and smaller and smaller until he's about a little less than half the height, probably.
And Sal just sort of nods.
Now, the weathering and the sort of wear and tear that the elements have had on this enormous fucking bowl probably diminishes the wealth, what you could sell it for, but it may be possible to use this for a hero's feast.
I'm gonna be real, Angus. That thing is massive, and if you could get it out of here, I'm pretty sure it's gonna be worth it.
Oh yeah? Let me show you the old Brackenbrick secret. He looks up. Is there a roof overhead?
Yes. It is like a small cubby hole in the middle of the wall here.
And now that I'm in this area from this side, is there any kind of door that leads outward, or is this just a fully sealed in area?
It is a fully sealed in area. You may have to pull out a few more bricks to get it out, which from your 31 mason tools earlier, which it should be easy enough to do. Yeah, you just
I'll need a little bit of a wider area, but... And he starts taking some of the bricks that they've got, and he starts lining them up in a long line from the bowl, the area that he's cut. All you have to do is roll it on this. It's like a little bridge.
little bridge.
Itty bitty bridge, cross my way. Sorry. Old song from way back. Anyway. I mean, the lads used to sing that. You would be building a bridge out there and you have just a bunch of burly, sweaty lads pounding back ale and hammers like nothing else, singing children's daycare rhymes. Oh, it was a funny sight to be sure. I miss those days. Anyway, let's get this out. I have an idea for this.
Want me to call on Liska?
No.
Alright.
Maybe I can ring the dinner bell as he rasps his knuckles against it.
You will hear this dum 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 kind of echoing through this hollow in the wall that you've seen them all create.
This is going to come up with a very similar bowl, just gold, struggled with Jasmine leg. And so I was thinking perhaps we can have a... Oh! She sees that one and just puts it back in her bag.
Oh!
She already has like a Hero's Feast bowl.
They have to.
So just gives Liska a look, just sort of, yeah, that was my reaction too.
Like,
Hello?
hello. I see you found a bowl.
I have found a bowl. Would you like to help me move the bowl?
Sure. Is there anything specific that you wanted moved to, or?
Well, maybe we can throw it in that big old hole in the ground you got, and I can use it to do some cooking later.
Sure.
How's that sound?
It sounds good, yeah.
Oh, I've been having this idea. What if I had a really nice big bowl pot like this, right? Well, this would work for a cooking pot.
Mm-hmm.
But you made it magic, so it never ran out of food. Just like you can reach into it at any time and get hot soup.
Well, I feel like that would burn your hand a lot.
Well, that's what the ladle's for.
But isn't this very cumbersome to carry around?
Yes, it is.
Especially if, like, it can spill hot soup at any point in time.
It's also made of gold, by the way, which it makes it very heavy.
It's soft.
Mm-hmm.
I might have to make a lid.
I like this egg.
A lid, indeed.
So I was just looking between the two. I'm not sure what its better purpose is for. On one hand, Angus could take a bath in it. On the other hand, well, she just looks to Liska. It's a size serving for you.
Mm-hmm.
I think that's a little more than just for one Liska. Big as you may be, lass, you know, you could probably feed a couple Liskas with it, maybe 3. It's got a lot of volume for water and soups in there. Anywho, let's get these out of here, right?
And this is gonna, I guess, come up and do some heavy lifting.
Alright.
Thank you, Liska.
You lift it up, it's even for you, it's a little bit heavy, but again, it's nothing you're not used to as a mountain folk. And you kind of heave it out as you help clear out some of the fractured bricks that have been broken apart here. And you, where are you putting it? It's in the hole?
I guess so.
Yeah, it works.
I mean, where else are we gonna put it, Janner? It's 5 feet fucking wide.
Yep.
You could put it on the roof of the wagon and probably create a sun laser and scorch the rest of the land.
As one does, you know.
Da Vinci Death Laser.
Yeah.
Don't tempt me. Don't fucking tempt me.
Laser.
Yeah. No, it was Archimedes, wasn't it?
I think
Yes.
Right,
Canadians in this room.
regardless, yeah, you put it in the portable hole, which is easy enough to do. Who has the portable hole?
Let's go.
That's just this
At least
guy.
go.
All right, I shall give you.
I think it's
I shall-
basically Liska's at this point. Let's be honest.
Yeah.
I shall.
I wonder
I
if
shall
you could
give that.
fill the portable hole with hot water to take a bath. Nothing says it can't.
Big
Don't
thing.
delay it.
As Angus finishes voicing that creative thought, well, anyway, and he holds his hands up to each of them. Classic, trying to do the high five, but it's kind of tippy toes to get to Liska.
Super low. Liska just like without lifting her hand, and he just like shifts it forward a bit and high fives him back.
The highest of 5 and the lowest of 5.
Uh-huh.
Nicely done. That'll make a life-saving meal another day.
Soup.
Things you get.
Soup.
The things you get rewarded for if you explore.
Sorry, I just exploded. I think my liver went this time.
Oh, it's because I removed the death ward, and
I just removed
Oh,
the death
you-
ward
you
because it
just
hadn't removed itself. So
yeah, I think the automation is making it a bit funky.
I guess if it goes away, it treats it as if it triggered.
Yeah. So you might want to do that and reset your health.
Sorry, that was scary. Everything just went red.
Yeah, congratulations, you're dead. What?
I mean, I just dispelled it on myself and nothing happened.
Yeah.
So that seems to be a
Or
skill
did you
issue.
delete it?
I went under effects and hit like the dispel thing.
Janer.
I hit the delete buttons. That's probably why.
Tisk.
Tisk.
Everyone's dying, it seems.
Janer.
Wait.
While they've all been doing all this,
Mm-hmm.
can I be doing some gathering?
Yes, you can.
Hell yeah.
Yeah.
4 days worth of gathering.
Sweet. Let's see, where are we? We're in plains, right?
Yes, your own planes.
Love the idea that we're walking along and then we just see Grunka like jump like a dog in a field.
Oh
just
no!
jumping out the
Oh,
wilderness.
okay.
Oh,
Roll
Well,
me,
damn.
roll me,
no.
What did you find?
I don't worry about it.
roll me a d20. Roll the d20 for me.
Where if it's the pterosaur
Oh
egg,
no!
Well, Angus might get his wish about getting breakfast.
see what kind of egg it is first. Spider egg. Oh!
What do
Maybe
you got
two.
there? What do you got there? Milk tank.
Okay, so well, for the sake of this, I will say. So as you're kind of waiting for everyone to sort of finish up, sort of exploring this ruin here, you kind of wander away for a good 30 minutes or so.
Also, question, Janer.
Yes.
Before, have there been a long rest before
Yes.
I do this, or is this? Okay.
Yes,
You
you
technically had 4.
you're arrested. You're arrested.
Yeah, okay, good. I just wanna
Yeah, this is
know
four-
if they
you
have
got
like
4
full
days
HP.
of-
Yeah. I just wanna know if they have like full HP and not exhaustion. Just in case some shit happens now.
Yeah. So as you wander away for a moment, you kind of explore through some of the ruins here, and kind of wandering through the brush, you stumble upon looks like a small, or not small at all. This is a rather large sort of dugout, almost like a shallow pit in the ground, where you can see a singular, very large egg of sorts, partly covered by warm dirt. It appears to be coloured as sort of brownish colour.
Oh no,
Hear
it's
about,
poop. It's a poop hole.
about 50, 80 feet away from this this set of ruins.
How big is the egg? Like
It's about as big as you.
me-sized?
It's about as big as you.
Okay. I guess that is a huge egg. Okay. Is it just one egg in the hole?
Just one singular egg.
Okay. Just gonna look around. Can I see anything? See any beasts? Any tracks?
Make
Any
a
piles of ginormous shit?
make a perception check.
What's a huge pile of shit?
It's like you
That's,
that one falls into the huge pile of shit.
there it is. I see things.
You kind of look around for a moment. I mean, you see a number of large, sort of reddish rocks nearby. Looks like probably serving as cover for this what does indeed appear to be a nest of sorts. Although you notice one of the large rocks shift nearby. It's one of these large boulders. And you hear this sort of grumble from it.
Hello?
Make a stealth check.
That you Angus.
It's like the boulders are speaking to Grunka. Sudden religious experience.
Yeah. Hang on. What is it? A 1d4 I add to stealth rolls? I think.
23.
Yeah.
Yotcha, the boulder seems to shift, and you can start to see what look like these sort of spiny protrusions. One of the rocks nearby appears to shift as well. It's smaller, about the size of you, Grunka, and it's sort of attached to something long and scaly, and it kind of shifts away. And you realise this wasn't a boulder. This was the end of a tail.
It wasn't a boulder, it was a rock. Oh, it's an Ankylosaurus. Oh no. Okay. Whereabouts is it? Like, is it like over there, or over here, or like?
It's about. I'll say this is about here right now. It's about 10 feet away from you, hidden behind a number of large sort of brushes and other boulders.
Well,
Kind of shifts and stirs for a moment.
yeah, Gruga's gonna sneak a little bit closer,
Okay.
very carefully.
You sneak very closer and closer till you're about 5 feet away, and you hear this slow. It's this slow, deep huffs. It appears to be breathing and resting. It looks like.
You and me both, buddy. I see. Okay. How far away is it from the nest?
It's right at the opposite edge of the nest. The nest itself is about 10 feet in diameter.
I see. Well, I might be stupid, but I'm not an idiot. Okay. Well, I did find an egg, but I choose not to grab it because
Okay.
I don't want to die.
Okay, go ahead and delete that from your inventory then.
Oh, those that to my inventory. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. Kind of decided not to take that because well, it's one bonus action. Okay. Delete. Yes.
Okay.
Still a bunch of tomatoes on me. Okay. I think give those to Angus later. Okay, I can do three more.
Yes, you can do 3 more. You do find three crossbow bolts alongside a humanoid skeleton that's probably been there for quite some time.
What are you gonna say? He's sticking out of your back.
That's where I left.
The bandits have
That's right.
returned.
Where did these come from? Oh well, free bolts.
Oh, nice. That's where I put them.
All right.
Okay.
more.
Like, I assume they're still usable bolts.
Yeah. You can probably use them for something. Say something.
Okay.
Your crossbow.
Yeah, shooting.
Yeah.
All right. Well, the dude's dad is dicks, so
Mhm.
I'm just gonna leave him there. Can't fix that. Oh, more bolts.
More bolts.
I found out. I found the other person.
Found the person that shot the first person.
Yeah.
We're having a duel.
Show each other at the same time.
Yeah, he
Yeah,
just goes back to
with
the same
several-
spot. There's no skeleton.
With
Such a trail of crossbow bolts.
So, yeah, they were very bad at aiming. They were having a duel, and both of them were drunk, and they just were not very good shots.
You know
Neither of
what?
them.
Sure. It's the
Except for
remains.
alcohol poisoning.
It's the remains. It's the remains of a bandit camp. That's probably been looted, and yeah, that's pretty much all you find there.
Well, they're dead as dicks.
All right, one more. Ooh.
Oh.
You find some shiny rocks sticking out of the red rock.
Oh. Slightly shinier red rocks coming out of the red rocks.
Indeed.
Just my thing. I'm gonna do a little bit of prying, and I'm gonna get. Is that 2 pounds copper ore?
2 pounds of copper ore, yes.
Okay.
And as long as you've kind of selected yourself while you've been rolling those should automatically appear in your inventory.
I should have been, because the egg was there. Yeah, I have. Well, I have 1 copper ore.
You have 1.
You may have found that before. Check if it's not in a different category.
Let's see. It's in my consumables.
Okay, so in that case, I will.
Hey.
Oh,
Hey, Jen.
there you go. I've given you 3.
Thanks.
3 total.
I like how they are in consumables where they're supposed to be.
Each rock.
Tasty.
Yum, crunch.
Good for your bowels.
Good for your bowels. Everyone knows copper is good for the bowels.
Yes.
Yeah. Lead is not.
That is very true.
Definitely not.
That's not good for much. You
Yeah.
know what's also not good? Mercury.
Yeah, no, that's
Grunker finds 3 gallons of mercury.
You mean deepling alcohol? Yeah, no, I only have like 1 every time I go to a party or something.
It's okay.
Grunker started out at 20 intelligence.
I guess statue juice.
I fucking died over here.
It's cursed.
Please,
You mean rocket juice?
they're gold.
Okay.
The mercury is he's up to sick with mercury this whole time.
So, as you very trepidatiously return back to camp, little bit shaken from your near dinosaur experience.
Hey guys, there's like a very big dinosaur, like 150 feet of that way.
How big?
Does it look edible?
I mean, yeah, but I'm just gonna look at Liska and like, how big was it compared to Liska? Is it like 5 Liskas, 6
It's
Liskas?
it's about
Liskas.
1.5 Liskas long, probably. Maybe
Okay,
2
It's,
if you include the tail.
it's like, okay, tail included. It was like 2 of her.
I was just looking from Grunker to Liska and then sort of gauging how big that would be, and then just looking back to Grunker.
like long. I don't really know how tall, probably tall as her. He was lying down, it was hard to see. Quiet.
I was just curious.
I
Something were to happen.
I'm gonna say it like this. I don't know if we should poke that.
No, it had a club that was bigger than me. Which I guess isn't saying much, but yeah.
Well, was it just like sleeping, or did you sneak up on it? Like, what happened?
I mean, I saw this really, this really big egg, and I was gonna go, oh, it looks good, and then I kind of was like, wait, hang on. Eggs don't grow on trees. So I looked around a bit, and then I saw that the rocks were not rocks, and yeah, there's a big dinosaur. It's probably a mom, and I figured that it was probably a good idea not to touch that.
It makes sense. Yeah,
Also,
let
I
sleeping
feel like-
dinos lie.
Yeah. Also, I figured I would mention because it's very close to our camp, and I figured that don't go that way, I guess.
Thinking.
Or we go that way when we're ready and we come back with steak.
Good, but
Now just sort of looks to Angus and gives him like a flick on the head.
I'm just saying that if it's well seasoned.
dong.
As much as you want to experiment with new kinds of meats and whatever, I'm gonna remind you on one thing. We don't have to kill everything we see.
I haven't killed a single giant lizard since I've been here. I'm out to dragon meat. I'm tired of just
Angus.
having some.
Angus, when we fought the T-Rexes, you got a whole bunch of dinosaur meat.
But I wanted to hunt it myself.
And maybe
Shit,
go with
man.
Solali at some point. I mean, they're.
I was. What did you got?
Oh, also I found a bunch of bolts, bunch of dead guys.
I think those two might be related.
Oh yeah.
I thought it didn't occur to him that maybe the dinosaur killed the people.
Yeah, I mean they were very dead, like skeleton dead. And I found some. Grugget pulls out the copper ore, chews on it a little bit. Copper.
Nice.
We're gonna look at the copper. I kind of realized, is this just like money?
As you connect both, copper coins, copper ore. Oh shit, they're the same.
Well, money is usually made out of metals, Grunker.
I mean, yeah, but I'm not like I'm not that big into like ergonomics. We don't really use that kind of stuff. What's kind of stopping people from just going out digging to just make money?
Well,
I mean, how much do you have there? Like, looks like 2 pounds ish.
Yeah.
Pretty decent actually.
well,
I mean-
what stops them is
There's a lot of coins. Probably.
It's printed. It's got kind of it's got things on it that say it's money, and that's the only thing that people can trade. And
yeah, but
that's
couldn't you?
Going
Yeah,
out, just
yeah, but couldn't you just look at the coin and then just make something that looks like that and just put that on the new coin?
that is called counterfeiting, and that is illegal.
Why?
Because you can go to
Otherwise,
jail for
like you
that.
said, everyone would just go out and mine and then make their own coins. Yeah, it throws everything out of whack.
This kid
Yeah,
just
I
kind of
mean-
like contemplates, like, but isn't that kind of what they do anyway? Who makes?
Yeah.
And then she like kind of looks like, pulls out a Capricorn, like, wait, who makes these?
That's
really
what
good
I'm
question.
saying.
Whoever it is really likes hexagons.
Oh shit! I didn't think that far in world building.
Good job, Tanner. Now you've got to get the
Yeah, make
economic
a, make a treasury, Jenner.
Eh.
I mean,
It's like fucking.
okay, I think I can find an easy fix for you, Jenna, right here, right now.
I mean, each
Merchant guilds tend to mint coin, and between the merchant guilds, they would have agreed to a quote-unquote standard.
yeah. I mean that is generally how things work. It's the gold, the gold and silver standards. It's typically each nation sort of mints their own coinage. Each nation will have a sort of different style of gold coin, different style of silver coin. You've had different coins that look like they've exchanged hands or been minted from places like the Doge Dynasty. Silver, especially prominently, often comes from the Silver Kingdom, while others might be minted from the Carthan Commonwealth. It's all different sort of designs that come from different nations, but they all have the same value.
Okay, voice in my head. But what does Mint have to do with this?
It's complicated.
It is.
Okay, but okay. I mean, copper is okay. I wouldn't, it's tastier stuff, so you can have it if you want. Maybe you can make some more coins.
Tasty.
How is
You never had this.
Copper.
You never had copper soup.
what?
Now that I think about it, the
Yeah,
old
make it.
copper cooking pot did add a unique flavour.
Yeah, yes. You take a soup or a stew, and you put like. I mean, probably not this much, but you put a bit in this, and like you put that in there, and then let it stew, and then whoever finds the chunk, probably lose a tooth, but they grow back, so it's fine. They get I don't know, they don't they get a favor or something. I don't know. Kind of depends on the occasion.
Okay. Interesting.
Yeah, we don't use money. We have like a barter system and services.
Makes
Your
sense.
people are interesting. You continue to baffle me.
It's not that complicated, but okay.
I mean, I can hear that.
Like if I
Sounds
want,
simple.
let's say, I want a food plate. Okay. If I can't make it myself, I could ask someone to make it for me. But then it kind of, then there's different tiers. Because I can either just ask them, just do this for me, and get the materials for it, and I'll just, I don't know, I'll do something for you. I'll give you something I can do. Or I could go and get the materials myself and tell them that, take this and do this thing for me, and then I'll do something less for you. And, stuff like that. Maybe I even help. It kind of depends what it is. And then, the more actual work you do yourself, the less the less of a favor or other goods you have to give the person.
That's fairly simple. Straightforward.
Which is why it's a good way to just be able to do things yourself, because then you're not doing favors to people.
Right.
Well, it does seem like we've all found some interesting things today.
Yes. As you just see Dishar just flipping through a black leather journal.
Wait, Kranka, you said you grow teeth back?
Well, yeah, don't you?
So I was just blinking for a few moments and then looking to, like, Liske, Willem, and Angus just... What?
Excuse me, hold on. What did you just say? You just grow back teeth?
I mean, yeah.
That's not...
Goblins do that too.
Like a shark.
Yeah.
You know what? I'm not gonna try and even wrap my head around this. No.
Fucking
Yeah,
crocodile
that's what I do.
goblins.
Things happen. Let them out.
You know what?
Sometimes it's best not to pry.
I'm not even gonna question at this point. Well, the hour is up. So, shall we get back on the road?
I would hope so.
Alright,
I think it is time to go.
back on
Right,
the road.
lunch is over.
You'll finish your... Oh,
Trade.
so you'll finish your your lunch meals and your... pack up your things, get back onto the road.
At this point, we should have T-shirts that just says, and DM says, "Oh," when somebody says something.
Sorry, it's just, yeah, again, if you want to say something, feel free to interrupt us.
Atlas, I gotta trade you a couple of things.
Okay.
We've had like a few days on the road, so I am going to trade the scroll I made to Dishar.
Okay. So Deja, you now have a scroll of Featherfall.
That
And
will come.
it comes with a note that says, "I don't mean this as a jest, I mean it as serious safety."
As soon as Chara reads that, he'll. Okay. Okay. Put it in a scroll case.
Good thing to describe. Good thing to know. Always have it prepared.
Yes.
I mean, okay, consider this. The Shar is a snake person. While she does know the fly spell, whenever has she ever considered the possibility of falling?
I mean, purely by the fact it's a reaction spell, I think. Isn't it?
It
Or is
is.
it like you cast it beforehand and it has a
It's a
duration?
reaction.
Yeah. He just
Already
didn't-
mouse better because, you know, you fall pretty quick, so you're not going to get a turn to cast on the way down.
that, and she had he didn't think he was gonna fall at any point from at least from that.
I mean, nobody thinks they're going to fall. Nobody
Well-
plans on falling, except for
He
Liz.
did.
Also, I'm looking at that trade and I'm just picturing all of it mashed into a pile. So like the tomatoes are mixed in with the copper ore and the rags are just sticking out of it.
It's actually just a bundle, and everything is just in the rags.
Yeah,
I was just thinking, it's just like,
you can make copper tomato soup.
this is a weird
do
shaped
it.
sack. Oh, it's not a sack. It's a dead guy's shirt.
Yeah.
he don't need it.
He didn't need it.
So,
He's dead.
your travels across the Tanzan Plains takes you between great cliffs, through lush, grassy ravines. Large edifices of old Aktishi ruins kind of protrude from the red rock. You can hear the sounds of distant behemoths, the cawing and crowing of pteranodons above echo through the valleys. It's as you move through the valley, you notice a gathering of about 8 large creatures. They have tan to brown hides, blending almost perfectly with the surrounding red-brown rocks. And large frills, complete with 3 horns, one over each brow, and one on the top of each snout. With Sayun and Talali's keen sight, both of you notice these creatures. Talali, you know them as Trihorns. They're known to be stubborn, fiercely territorial, and among them you can see a couple of juveniles and one larger Trihorn among the group with deep red scales. The group appears to be grazing on the surrounding brush. However, they appear to be blocking your path. What do you do?
This gonna be like, sup, Dejan. You make me look like dragon.
For everything.
It already worked once.
Eventually we could get to a settlement, and they can be like, we've seen reports of a dragon flying around, go kill it for us. And we're just like,
This reminds me of a fucking story about the dragonborn princess having a second life as a mercenary and then getting hired to deal with the dragon that purportedly kidnapped the princess. So she has to save herself from herself by herself. That's all I'm picturing with that existence. Fucking Lyska the Blue Dragon being sent to deal with the Blue Dragon that is Lyska the Blue Dragon.
Are you we could do.
So they're
what?
So question. I'm assuming the path we're necessarily on is.
It's
It's not. Oh, sorry. Continue.
It's a sort of you're entering a sort of deeper grassy ravine, and these Trihorns appear to be sort of grazing in the midst of your path here.
Okay. So there's only a forward path, or there's only the path ahead and the path behind us, and there's walls on either side.
There appears to be that way. Yes.
Okay.
How do you approach this? What's the plan?
shoot. Just shoot them, what could go wrong?
I don't know. I have a weird idea about Lyska showing dominance and getting one as a mount.
Let's go search dominance.
A few. There you go. You're about that distance from it.
Okay.
I can't see shit.
I am out of the thing where I'm supposed to be. Okay.
Oops, sorry.
I'm lying. Is anyone else getting a black screen?
No.
I should probably refresh that.
Yeah.
Well, also check to make sure you're not scrolled down or above the.
Well, apparently it booted me out of the fucking everything because I had to log back in.
It's weird.
What's the plan?
Alright,
Let's
well, what do we know about them? First off, are they dangerous? Do they attack people?
Well, sorry, this. Who should probably...
Getting your voices mixed up. It happens.
Well, no, I'm thinking about who should probably answer this. Because Liska also has some knowledge about this sort of stuff. Let's start with Liska. Well, they are. If you look, they are obviously herd animals, and they tend to have, from judging by their eating habits, they are herbivores. And like most herd animals, they tend to be far more dangerous than your standard predators because they aim to defend themselves and the rest of the herd. So they tend to, chase, whereas a predator will just try to scare you away or run away. A herd animal will tend to hunt you down. Like, have you ever got in between a male and her filly or like her baby? Like, they will just continue to chase you until they catch you or until you're so far away. So I probably would say, yes, they are dangerous. Those horns are probably not merely for show.
We maybe lure them away with something that they like, or...
I mean, possibly. The only thing I can think of is, like... we could try to prod them away. Like, maybe we can just very slowly and, like, non-threateningly try to get past them. The only thing I'm worried about is their little babies. She points to the infant ones.
I agree. If there are little ones there, they're going to be very protective.
What time of day is it?
I will say it's about midday. It's just for.
It was midday, but we had lunch, wasn't it?
Oh no. Sorry. It'll be about mid-afternoon. Yeah.
Well, here's an idea. We are gonna make camp soon anyway, probably. So why not just head off the road a little bit and see if they're gone in the morning?
I mean, yeah. Like, I think it's either that or I think our best bet is if we don't act like we are predators, I don't think they will respond like we are predators. Like, if we're very obvious, if we're very big, like, we also are kind of out in the open, moving very brazenly. Predators don't do that. They tend to, like, try to sneak or ambush. Though I guess it's hard with the T-Rex. They probably just come up and chase, but...
Yeah, but with the steam hammer, it makes a lot of ruckus and tooting and might startle them. So I think maybe making camp and seeing if they move on. If they do, great. If they don't, well, we have time to think about it.
You also realise the front of the steam hammer looks like a giant ram's head.
Oh, it's true. That is herbivore.
Alien.
It's just a giant farting ram.
It's true. Oh,
if anything,
can you make it look
we'll
like...
attack more the albino, the giant white lizard thing.
He just pops ahead the window, huh? What?
Did you, like, how big can you make something look like something else?
It has to fit in a 20-foot cube.
Let's get, like, looks at the fucking steam hammer and up top starts kind of pacing it off.
Very specific.
That would...
The spell is very specific.
That would fit within the 20-foot cube, the steam hammer.
Well,
but
I think that would...
There is the issue about the caravan.
The caravan is also led by a ram.
That is true.
So guy just calls out through the window. What are you thinking?
Oh, well, I was just thinking, like, perhaps you could make it just this bumbling... Does anyone remember something that we haven't... that we saw at that water place that wasn't, like, dangerous? That was about this size? And...
Water place?
Yeah, you know, at the Oasis, the watering hole.
Just points.
Oh,
Yeah, well, I mean, I don't want to do another one of them. I feel like that might be encroaching on territory or something. But... And by the way, Jenner, while this is happening,
Yes.
can Talali look and just see what their response is to us chilling here now? Are they, like, have they noticed us? Are they, like, taking up any aggressive action?
During your sort of approach here, you notice the tri-horn herd seems to have been noticing you. The creatures are beginning to sort of stir, making noises of discomfort. A few of the juveniles are kind of letting out these whines and running underneath the protection of the adults. The large red one seems to sort of approach a couple of steps, notices you, kind of it lowers its three horns and bears this colourful crest in your direction, and the creature starts to sort of scrape and slam the dirt with its two front forelimbs, and it's
This is gonna...
clearly showing its dominance over the rest of the herd here.
I was just watching this as well.
This is
This is gonna be like, oh, god damn it. Okay, hold on.
this is
She's going to hop down.
this is probably the bull of the group, and it's
Yeah, I figured.
yeah, territorial display is serving as a warning to stay away.
Yeah, Lissa's gonna kind of hop down and just stand between the Triceratops and the steam tank.
Okay.
Because that is interesting. Because she can totally stop a charge.
Holy.
Probably not. Anyway,
Yeah, you are, maybe, but dang.
You do have the marking thing.
I do.
Are you really gonna... You have any idea how heavy this is? It probably weighs as much as that thing or more.
Oh no,
I'll
I
be
don't
fine.
like it's fine.
He's the one that's gonna break a horn.
Yeah, I'd rather it not get up to that point. That's all I am saying. She's gonna like do it more, but then keeping one eye on the bull, she's gonna be like, okay, so can anyone magic him calmer, or... And she's also has her shield, and she's gonna get her glaive out.
Such an angry boy.
And,
I
and
cannot, but I can... Well... I can try and move it.
Let me check my scrolls.
I
Didn't
love the fact that I can
anticipate
vortex
this.
off that fucking thing if I wanted to.
Accidentally vortex warp it backwards, it just keeps charging towards us still. Like, no!
but yeah, so she's like, I mean, anyone to just kind of keep him at bay, or just like off to the side, like, you know, kind of control him somewhat.
I mean, I could.
These guys, I think that may not be possible, and she points out that there are more joining it.
You're starting to notice that the rest of these, the sort of grey and brown Triceratops, probably females, are sort of forming this perimeter. Just, you know, stay away from our babies.
Maybe we should drive off the road a bit just to see if they calm down.
This looks off to the side where there's just cavern walls. Just be like,
You
like
could
they're kind of.
You could, if you so choose, take a more off-road path around the ravine.
I feel like that's probably easier than trying to calm down a group of rampaging Triceratops.
I mean, I do have a spell for it. I don't want... Oh,
What does the spell do to Jar? Let's be quick.
I have a spell called Hypnotic Pattern.
What to do?
It basically befuddles them. As long as you don't attack them, they'll stay that way.
Okay, can you heal all of them if they do decide to charge us?
Possibly.
Have it ready, and alright, who... I think maybe we take the off-road. What does everyone else think?
I would consider it too, but it does look like Liska. No, she could probably try a one-on-one with the biggest.
What are you thinking, Liska?
I mean, I'm only here because in case it does happen to attack, but I mean,
They appear to be standing their ground for now, or at least the ball appears to be doing so.
The steam hammer will be fine, but it's Willem's cart I'm worried about. Or Bastion.
that's
Think
like
longer
I think
Yeah,
I think it's probably best to just go around. I don't see anything that
I
necessarily warrants. Like we can avoid this if necessary.
yeah.
As-
Not like this thing hasn't done the steam hammer hasn't done off-roading before.
Oh, it's never done that. It's not like it was made to do that. No.
Exactly. We have the option. Let's use it.
Alright then.
Well,
Is that sarcasm?
for those
I
that are
guess?
outside, call the big guy Lucky instead of calling him dinner. With that, he begins to turn off to the side of the road. I'm gonna shift this baby into no-wheel drive.
This thing has wheels?
No. That's why it's called no-wheel drive. Come on, keep up.
No wheel drive. Of course, how silly of me.
How thoughtless of me.
1 second.
I was just giving the biggest one like a look over and
I know that's a bird calling in the background ambience, but it sounds just like the Wilhelm scream. I just hear like 3 Wilhelm back to back.
Oh my goodness. Alright.
Okay, so you begin to make your way around, or rather, you kind of heading back out of the ravine, trying to make your way back around, sort of keeping to the edge of the ravine to sort of follow it, follow the main road, and kind of as you kind of make your way past the Tri-Horn herd from above. So
sure, cat being a nuisance.
yeah, she's being a nuisance. You it's kind of a venture past. It's then that you notice Sayun and Talali, a pair of figures on that far end of the ravine, the opposite side, seem to stalk out from behind a pair of boulders. They almost look like a Tyrannosaurus Rex, but their jaws are... or rather, they have these 2 prominent kind of stubby horns on each brow. Tilali. These are devil beasts, also known as Carnotaurus in some academic circles. And you
She
realise...
calls it devil beast as she points them out to the group.
Indeed. You realise they have spotted a couple of juveniles that are too distracted to notice the predator's approach.
So, wait, are they behind? Oh, okay.
This is as you're kind of venturing across the top ridge of the ravine.
Okay. And she's going to kind of point out, I mean, Sal saw, but she knows Sal is a somewhat ranged combatant. And she's like gonna point out to the two creatures below, just be like, can you shoot them?
The big ones?
Those ones, the devil swords, you know, look like the T-Rex but smaller, have horns on their heads.
Alright.
Why would you shoot them?
Because we're here and we can.
Sal just sort of gives a slight look.
You get on me about every... Oh, you don't have to kill everything you see. And you're just, oh, we're here, we can, let's just shoot him.
I mean, if you can hear me talking verbally to Sal while you're inside your tank, sure.
She's on top of my tank.
No, she's not.
She's usually
she?
it.
He's on top of the
Oh,
Normally
Sal-
she's on top of the tank or on one of the turrets. Right next to me.
And can you hear, like, Sal when she, like, slams to the top, does she talk you verbally through all the noise of the tank, or does she talk to you through the ears? Through the earrings?
Normally it's verbally right there.
Yeah.
The earrings
Then-
talking to everybody.
Although he can hear that close.
Sal's probably the only person and immediately by her that I can hear because the little turret things are on the inside of the tank.
Are they? I thought they were just posted on the outside. I thought you had to actually go through the back. I thought the only thing inside the tank was just the driving apparatus. Like, I thought the turrets were on top of the tank.
Nope.
Oh,
I
then,
access.
she wouldn't say anything to Sal. Because she couldn't.
Oh.
I've been under the assumption
I mean,
that the
there's the
turrets would
opening.
have opened at the top.
Yeah, I thought it was like a sort of secondary platform that.
We're gonna need some logistics about how the tank looks and functions. That's something.
Yeah, we'll talk about that later.
Okay.
Yeah, so she's not going to say anything.
Because you enter it from the back side rather than being on.
I thought you got to the turns
the very
by being
tippy
on
top.
top.
Yeah, big same. I thought that was the case as well.
Well, I think you can access them either way. It's you can either go through the back and get through the platform, or you can sort of drop down from above onto the exterior gun platform.
They are not an additional vertical layer. They are not the top layer. The top layer is the back platform where Liska tends to be.
Yeah.
The turrets are in the middle, and they're sort of in like the middle height.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
They are partially covered from the sides.
Yep.
Okay.
Like the row of cannons on a ship, and then there's the very top deck where you would shoot your blunderbuss and shit off of, right?
Yep.
That's exposed. That's where Liska hangs.
Mhm.
But hey, that wasn't immediately visually cued, but it's also way less cover than where Angus is in it. Angus is in like a little building where the other ones are more exposed.
Sorry about that.
Yeah.
Ow.
Door! So you can talk and see a lot more through that than I can.
No. She's just going to kind of look over and wonder why, even after they left, all the adults are arranged like that. And she's going to just put her fingers to her lips and just do a really huge, loud whistle.
And this piercing whistle rings out through the air. All the herd is immediately kind of alerted by that. Sort of look around to where it's coming from, And he notices, first of all, a couple of the juveniles notice first and let out this sort of short and grumbling whine as they look back and see these two devil beasts approaching, and immediately kind of run up towards the adults. Immediately, couple of the adults motion back, kind of running overhead, thump, 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 and immediately begin forming this defensive line. The big bull immediately barrels forth, and the last thing you see as you kind of make your way over the hill, you see the enormous red-scaled bull is kind of gore one of the devil beasts in the side, and just this chaos you hear as this sight disappears over the hill.
Well,
The natural
that being
world
weird.
is...
Go ahead.
Brutal.
Yeah, the natural world is a brutal place. Especially
Very
in Tanzia.
vicious.
That being a weird thing, Angus will stick his little head out the window and look for the whistle. Wait, what is it? Is it above?
No. What's what?
The whistle.
Yeah, we're just whistling to make up for the two. Sorry, I'm being whiskey right now. We are just whistling to make up for our presence. Don't worry about it. Everything's fine for us.
Oh, okay. That was a signal. All's well. And it pops back in.
I just picked it out. What direction? Bang, bang, bang. Multipliers off and all.
Those were just warning shots.
Oh, it's surrounded? Good, I can shoot in every direction. Bang, bang,
No,
bang.
we warning. Oh no. Stuff just keeps dying around us.
We're not surrounded. We're in a target-rich environment.
As it should be.
High accuracy situation.
Overrated.
Accuracy by volume of enemy.
Accuracy is overrated.
It's called target practice.
Okay. So, how many days would have passed by now? Let me check. Again, if you want to do anything or say anything while on the road, feel free to interrupt me. Otherwise, we're going to continue on.
For those days, I'm going to still looking more, research more into that black leather book.
All right.
I do want to pull Dajar's head at a time.
Okay.
And for that, we'll go back to the camping site.
Yo.
I imagine this would be during the evening?
Yeah, it could be the evening even of this night.
Alright.
Oh, Dajar. I was hoping to talk to you about this.
He's busy and have a nose in the journal. It's...
Well, you see, I was thinking this might be something that you could benefit from. I can't really use it myself, and you've already got the other one, so why not have you have these, tablets?
Oh, right. Give me a second. And she reaches into her little bag of crystals. 5 of them set down, drawing a alchemical sign and a circle, and releases the volt spell on it with a giant word saying Kravas, release.
And with that You what? You're trying to grab the tablet, put it in the vault, yeah?
Yes.
Okay. You watch this shining crystalline display of bright white blue-white magic that seems to envelope the tablet, and like the reverse sound of shattering glass, it disappears from your sight.
Oh, that's interesting.
He set aside before he put it into there. Took out the stew and kebabs that she just gotten way past in the Moorbog, and they're still piping hot and fresh.
Kind of squints. What is this?
Hmm?
What is that?
Oh, that is a spell I got from one of my teachers, Fort Kintus. Good use for storing items and even food, so it doesn't age or go stale.
You've heard the name Foldred Kenseth before. You actually met him back in Port Morkney.
Foldred? Ah. Kinda tries and think. He wasn't the red-wearing priestly lad.
He's a halfling.
No, he was the other one, isn't he? Sorry, I haven't thought of that name in a time. My goodness. I've met him before.
Definitely a well-renowned wizard. And yes, he's a halfling. Very jovial. And always looking for new ruins to explore.
That's an interesting spell. So, what's the limitations for that? How does it work? The food doesn't go bad? Is it still
edible?
Is it something that you can just take your time to do, like a ritual, or
It is. Hold on. It is a ritual. Specifically for, from what I know, he made this spell. And it was given to me, along with a spell book as a sort of graduation. As for the limitations,
that's a very nifty one.
It can hold up to 500 pounds. And she just goes back to her spell book. Let me get the actual. And this has been a while since I used it.
So it's kind of like a bag of holding, but as a spell, but better.
Yes. Yeah, the contents does not age, weather, or rot. And I can hold up to 500 pounds of material in it.
That's like my bag of preserving, or my chest of preserving, or a bag of colding.
But caster has to speak a single chosen word to release the gem's contents onto the ground. The contents can also be released if dispelled. It's the reason why I don't use it very often.
I would love to figure out how to do that with runes. Maybe have a stone of some type, or a gemstone that, say, it's suspended in a piece of quartz, or... Interesting. Either way, on the note of runes, here, I want you to have this interesting rune itself. I can read the rune and that it's meant to be one of, it's either ice or snow, judging from what it is, but the magic itself, I don't know. I'm not sure if you would even be able to use it, because, you know, it is a rune, but I have no reason to hold on to it.
The shard uses identify on this spell rune. Gander, what do I see with this?
It holds a sort of... Oh wait, no, that's detect magic. This is a spell rune of Investiture of Ice. And Investiture of Ice, it is a 6th level transmutation spell. Lasts 10 minutes. It's an action. Range of self, verbal somatic components. Until the spell ends, ice rhymes your body, and you gain the following benefits. You are immune to cold damage and have resistance to fire damage. You can move through difficult terrain created by ice or snow without spending extra movement. The ground in a 10-foot radius around you is icy and is difficult terrain for creatures other than you. The radius moves with you. You can use an action to create a 15-foot cone of freezing wind, extending from your outstretched hand in a direction you choose. Each creature in the cone must make a Constitution saving throw or take 46 cold damage on a failed save, or half on a success. A creature that fails this save is its speed is halved until the start of your next turn.
Well, looking over this,
I'm not quite sure what it will do.
Well, from what I'm reading from this magic, it is something of a transmutation spell that, at a high level, I can envelop myself in ice.
I have no interest in that. I'm more attuned to fire, to be honest with you. Well, perhaps once you learn how to use runes, since you seemed interested in that, once you learn how to do that, perhaps you'll be able to draw the power from it and have it as a backup.
Yes.
Until then, it's a good paperweight. A pricey one.
A endeavor for study, I would say.
Aye. Speaking of endeavors, you went through one. How are you feeling? It's been a few days. How are you holding up? Are your bones still set in place? I trust Grunka to do well, but you know, sometimes a little bit of magic doesn't hurt.
It is a gentle twist of the neck and just hear a small and better. I'm less nauseous than a few days ago. It had me thinking of purpose. You know, being so close to death and all, but not the first time.
Well, I'm glad you didn't die. And this is why I like to use that spell whenever I may. Because it's a lot easier to do that and set a broken bone than to try to wrestle your soul back in your body.
Given what we have, where we went through, and what we have seen, that is, I like the former than the latter.
I agree. No question on that for the latter. Should you pass, come across you, heart stopped, all well, truly gone and kaputs, do you want to say, alright, that's it, I'm gonna go up and dance with the sun, or whatever your faith is, I don't know, and just, leave you to be? Or do you want me to try and, do a little bit of necromancy and wrestle your soul back into your body, willingly?
I think the latter, you trying to bring me back, would be much preferred.
I just want to make sure I know. Some people might not want to.
That brings up a conversation I need to have someone.
That?
But
you alright about that? You seem a little hesitant.
it's just a thought that I tried to suppress, but it came back like a bad itch.
If you have one of those, I can cure it.
No, it's actually on the speaking of cure, you want to give it a shot with this, and she points to her forehead.
We talked about that before, and I could, but that's something that we may want to prepare a bit for, because it could be an instance that if it goes wrong, it gets more difficult the next time. And it could become more difficult to a point that it can't be undone even by means that normally would. It's
No, I
kind of
mean,
like pulling
not
on
now.
a fish hook.
Not now. I mean, when we get into Itzel.
Oh, I mean, perhaps, yeah. I'll have to look at it a bit and see what actually needs to be undone. I have the spell for it, but sometimes if you do something extra, it can make it more successful, especially if it's powerful magic. If I prepare a bit and bolster my own resolves, if it comes to another contest like we were thinking, struggle a wheel like it was with the big man in the mirror, well, the more ready I am, the better.
Right.
It might be best
Nothing
for
ventured?
something that's not on the road.
Yeah, nothing ventured, nothing gained.
Or what? 3-4 days away?
Probably 1 or 2, maybe.
Well, we're going at half pace now, and have been for a bit, so with the time of Willem over there making his ingots, it's not like we're ticking along at full speed.
No.
Which I am curious of. You know, I haven't brought it up over the past few days. You've been having a rough time of it, and I want to make sure you're okay. But You still interested in making our little ingots? And doing our works?
Yes, we've fallen behind, haven't we?
We have, but you've also fallen down. So falling behind's to be expected. I want to make sure you're alright before I assume any work from you, and then I don't want to assume work at all. I want to make sure you're still wanting to, you know?
That's fair. I have a question for you.
Aye?
What is your goal?
My goal in...
Adventuring.
Well, originally, I set off to mimic the great stories that I used to tell in my pappy's, I guess, my bakery, my tavern. I wanted to leave the safety and security of the city to go have big adventures like all my ancestors, you know? And I still want to do that, but I'm finding things have changed, and as I step out, what I thought of the world turns out not to be what it is. I suppose that's the point of having an adventure, isn't it? But I still want to have those nice adventures and make big stories, but now I have little different goals. Rather than more focus, I want my own stories and my own honour and my own pride. I think I've got that. Instead, I want to be someone there for the folks of my clan and my kingdom that, yes, should they need somebody, should the ancestors have to have help, well, there's someone to care for them. And, well, I care for the past generations, but I want to care for the new ones too. Make sure they never have to go through what we did. And gets a little bit more sullen, a little more serious. I want to end our wars and finally bring us peace. And I've sworn an oath to that. So I shall.
And is that your reason for living?
What? But you asked about the goal, not the reason to live, Laz.
No, to me it's they're one and the same. You have something to keep driving you forward.
No, you've got that backwards. No, a goal is something you move towards through life, and goals will always change. If my goal is to make the best cake, and then I do, and now I'm 30, what am I gonna do with the rest of my 90 years? If you live for a goal, the moment that goal's achieved, or isn't possible, you're already dead. And there's no point. No, goals are a great way to find satisfaction, but not a meaning in life. No, the reason you live is because you are. And you're going to die. I'm gonna die. It's certain, right?
Mm-hmm.
Why rush it? It's gonna happen. And one time I wasn't alive. Now I am. And at some time I won't be. That's pretty certain. No one lives forever. So, maybe the best meaning in life is to live it while you have it. Because you're only gonna get this life for so long.
So, enjoy it. Except maybe don't enjoy the drink too much. Enjoy today so you can still enjoy tomorrow, eh? Just don't cling on to it so hard that you're not willing to accept the day is over and tomorrow's come. That's how you're late for work.
Okay.
What is your goal? If that goal is that big meaning for you, what's your goal?
There's a very long pause.
You'll take out a pint.
Don't really know. All I've been literally doing is... Well, I do want my husband back, that's one, but... I don't have anything just me. Hard to put in words. I've always had the inclination that those with power serve others.
That's a good way of looking at it.
Because I'll admit, I am very selfish. I'm a very selfish person. And I want to keep everyone here alive. So, through certain events, I've come to realize that it may be a folly effort, but something nonetheless. But as a true goal of, I don't know.
So then why have you been living till now?
Back on my journals, I'd lived for revenge. And then I had my memories taken away, so I have nothing else but to protect you guys. That's all.
I've got some big old armor and a nice shield. Liska's got the big armor, bigger fucking sword, and a bigger than that fucking shield. Vellum, okay, maybe he needs a little help protecting himself, but he's too stubborn to fucking die. Salyun's too far away to ever be hurt. And I have no idea about what's going on with Vadima, but apparently she came from under the city in a time of great siege and she held her own for a while, so I think that kid's a lot more danger than people realize. I don't think a lot of people need protecting. I think they need care. And you care for each other, right? And that can be looking out and protecting in battle, and I get your point. But there's so much more than protecting someone like an overdoting mother on her bairling than caring about people. And sometimes the best way to care is to care for yourself first. The chef always serves everybody else first, right? But never tells you about the little samples he's taste testing all through the time he's cooking. So he's not that hungry by the time the food comes out. Right? It's not a huge worry. But you gotta care for yourself. If you make your life all about helping everyone else, that's a wonderful thing and it sounds very nice, but what happens when it comes to a point where other people don't need you? And they say, no, I'm fine.
and then you can't care for anybody. When that day comes, because if you are a helper, hopefully the end goal is to make them so they don't need help, can you walk away with your head held high and proud, knowing that you've made someone better? Or will you find that feeling of crisis of, that was my identity, what do I do now? It was hard for me, going off and taking care of me pa and me ma and seeing them with her. I thought I had to just protect them. And then I realized there's a difference between protecting and caring. And if I didn't remember to feed myself and to take care of myself, I wouldn't have the energy to take care of them. I'd get everything I have today, and then I wouldn't have the same amount tomorrow, the day after that, and after that, until I'm just a fraction left. I'm a pebble off of a boulder, and I'm not strong enough to do what needs to be done. So make sure you care for yourself in the ways that you want to care for others. Don't know what happened to your husband, and that's news to me. But saving us won't save him. You can't make up for bad things that have happened in your past. Or make it right, if you would, by doing good things in the present. Do them now because you want to do them. Because it brings you joy. Not because you're owed some debt. And that's coming from a dwarf that carries around a shield of grudges. So, live your life. You don't have to protect us. But, thank you.
No, I don't have to. I want to. You're my friends.
Then, there's your goal. Do the things you want to make your friends happy. And find happiness in it. Sounds like a pretty nice way to start. And goals shift. When you climb one mountain, you can see the peaks of the others to go climb next. You climb up, you're at the very top, you feel great and have to climb down so you can climb up all over again. There's the peaks and valleys, lads. So if you're feeling down about this, just know that you have to get into a valley to climb up to the next peak, eh?
Aye. Aye.
Let me show you something. He's gonna grab a little rock, red rock from nearby. He's gonna pull out a little chisel. You see this right here? So you want to find a nice flat side. And then you start at the top left corner. You draw a line straight across, diagonally to the far end. Have a vertical line in the middle. Tink in 3 more slots there. Connect it here. And bam. That is giant. That's the rune for friend. Sometimes they call it clan, sometimes they call it rival. In their cultures, sometimes that could mean much the same. We know it as a friend. Easiest translation. If you're gonna let something weigh you down, let it be this. You can make one of those and come back to me another time. And maybe I'll show you another room. How about that?
Okay. Yeah. I would like that.
Good. If you're up for it tomorrow, we can get on the crafting.
Let's keep my hand busy.
Absolutely. Well, I'll let you get back to your crystals and your whatnots. By the way, as he finishes that pint he started drinking earlier, I'm ahead of schedule.
Kiara just narrows her eyes. I see.
Mm-hmm.
Well, as soon as we get to Itzel, I find what I need. Count on it.
Oh, I've been counting down 20 a day. And I'll do 20 more tomorrow.
Don't get too drunk, where you can't work.
Don't worry. I won't be late for work.
I imagine Angus is sort of slurring his words a little bit.
He's completely sober.
Oh. Right, okay.
Does he drink just before he goes to sleep?
No, he's got something else going on.
Okay, okay. Keep your secrets.
I'm gonna
That's
say it
okay.
as it is. I'm gonna say this as it is. Angus is the fucking alcoholic Uncle Iroh.
Pretty. Tea? No. Vodka.
Yes.
I
mean,
that. He's gonna to stand up and begin to waddle off.
Alright.
That the Yara is going to sit down at the fire with the environmental that he got out of the crater.
It's bring it out in your hand. It gives off that glowing golden shine in your hand. It's warm to the touch.
Takes a deep breath. Just starts talking like someone's just trying to listen. I know I fucked up. I'm trying my damnedest. Maybe you can give me a little push to where I need to go. Yeah, you did before. Tram. As eye-opening that was, I'm a little lost. I think the yard has always been lost. I guess right now I'm trying to find myself. I'll be honest. I've been just going through the motions. Prayer, faith, and religion. Ever since I lost that connection, I need to find my own way. If you think I'm crazy. But if you are hearing me, give me a sign. Anything.
You wait patiently.
And and he just sits there as he tries to hold back tears, waiting.
Look upon the night sky through the flames of the fire. Warmth and light, the star metal in your hand, the warmth of the fire. Once more you see those constellations that you saw the night when the star metal first fell from the sky. And in the very, very distance, amidst a number of smaller, more unrecognisable constellations, a single golden star twinkles in the night sky that you've not seen before.
She looks down at Starman on her hand and then back up into the sky.
It looks so distant, so out of reach from here. It's as if you were to try to reach out and touch it, forever be out of your reach.
Feels like test for patience. Okay. Your test, so be it.
So, what would you all like to do? Just rest for the night?
Very much, yeah.
I think so.
Okay. You all come to rest for the night. Dreaming your dreams, some of you have dreams that don't quite make much sense, as they normally do. Others have a dreamless sleep. Jar, yours is restless. You find yourself initially thinking it's a dreamless sleep, but you hear the battering of wind against the caravan, almost like a hailstorm. You'll wake up for a moment. It's not against the caravan, it's against you. A haze of tiny particulates battering your form. It's hot, it's humid. Sorry, no. It's a hot, dry heat you're feeling right now. Choking. As in the darkness you can feel your lungs seizing. This isn't a hailstorm, this is a sandstorm. You choke back the fumes. Your eyes begin to water. And you find yourself slithering through sand. Boiling hot sand. And in the distance, that same golden star, barely visible through this whirling sandstorm. That's the only light that's visible here. What do you do?
We keep moving forward toward it. The only thing I can see.
Slither through the sand towards the light. As you're getting closer, you now see, instead of the sort of golden brownish hues of sand that you'd normally expect, it's this bright, sickly yellow. You choke back the fumes once more, coughing, sputtering. Sand catches you in the mouth, catches you in the tongue. You spit it back out, which only causes you to cough even more. You reach out towards the light. You're not sure why, but it seems to be evading your grasp. And you're doubtful you could ever reach it. Again, the sandstorm clouds your vision. And you're disoriented, unsure of yourself. Doubt fills your head, fills your mind. An attempt to reach out for it again.
I'm gonna try.
Alright, make me a Constitution saving throw, please.
Okay.
16. You manage to choke back what feels like poisonous gases in your throat, and you continue to slither forward towards the light. The sandstorm batters against your hand, scorching it. I need you to make another Constitution saving throw.
Alrighty then.
10. You feel the burning sands against your scales. You have to bring back your hand. You collapse to the ground, sputtering out poisonous gases that are now filling your lungs. You've lost sight of the light. Again, doubt. Being unsure of yourself. The lack of a path. And you come to wakefulness the next morning.
He's going to just check over herself since that dream.
There's that instinctual reactive seizing of the lungs as you jolt up awake. But you're otherwise fine.
He's gonna almost instinctually grasp at the necklace that she has ever since that trial in Barovia.
You grasp at your necklace. The crack that you initially saw upon it during the tram ride to the Commonwealth before your test, no longer there. As if it's fully resealed itself.
Takes a deep sigh of relief.
You swear, but for a moment, in those initial sort of waking moments from your sleep, it's best way you can describe it is a presence. A warm presence.
No words will be spoken. You'll just grasp that necklace tightly. And remember the words that Angus said about living for yourself. Which kind of goes back to what her sister said before he left. Okay, I get it. I'll try. I'll try, Grandfather, I'll try. And she'll just sit in silence.
So for the rest of the morning, what would everyone else like to do before setting off?
I might as well do some gathering.
Alright. So you get one of these. I'll reset that for you. Oh.
Oh no.
Oh no.
Not again.
Everywhere.
Roll me a d20.
I mean, I guess this is the table's way of saying.
May I offer you an egg in this trying time?
Okay.
Oh dear God.
So you do gather a huge egg without any issue. It looks as though whatever creature may have laid this is out to forage for food, perhaps.
I see. Okay. This egg is literally as big as me.
It's a little bit shorter. Might come from a different species. But yeah, it does count as a huge egg.
Alright. Well, we'll bring that back to camp.
All right. Good for a morning meal. perhaps. So, I would like to leave us off on a narrative note here, if you would indulge me.
Yeah, sure. Go ahead.
It would involve setting off, if you're all okay with that.
Yeah, stuff I need to do is on the road anyway.
Okay.
I got nothing but scroll making, so...
Alright. So, you have a morning meal of a huge dinosaur egg. More than filling. Looks like it's an egg that's barely been laid, so it's there's no meaty bits, so to speak. Anyway, so for the next 3 days of travel, it goes without issue. And eventually, after the 3rd day of travel, you kind of crest upwards over a hill, and as you reach the peak of that hill, a stunning view. A stunning view of the town of Itzel is unveiled before you. Located on the shores of the Actuan Gulf, the white sandy beaches of Itzel stretch across the azure waters of the Gulf. And the sound of gentle waves caressing the sand is a constant presence. It's a town built on canals. Numerous small waterfalls cascade down the cliffsides into the canals, lined with lush greenery and flowers of all colours, providing this beautiful and presumably fragrant walkway through the town itself. The buildings blend stone and adobe and are painted in different shades, including cyan, maroon, pristine white, making the architecture stand out. Many are decorated with golden trim. The doorways and windows, from what you can see from this distance, have intricate carvings showcased with skilled craftsmanship of the builders. You can see that the town is well maintained, the streets are clean and tidy. In the Tahoshan Dynasty, there's no doubt that owning a temple or incorporating elements of temple architecture and decorations such as ziggurat-like designs and generous amounts of gold is a clear marker of wealth and social standing. As you follow the path down the cliffside into the town proper, you notice that this is especially apparent in the buildings closest to the water, which are unmistakably luxurious and upscale. The intricate balconies and ornate railings and grand entrances leading to courtyards adorned with fountains and other elaborate features make it clear that these are not ordinary residences, but rather opulent mansions designed to impress and showcase the owner's affluence. In fact, the amount of gold used in the building's establishment is itself a symbol of prosperity, and speaks to the abundance of this precious metal in the dynasty. The town is clearly a place where the elite and wealthy reside. The level of luxury on display is evident in every meticulous detail. In the distance, you can spot an enormous circular structure embedded into the cliffside, and the entrance at its center. The partly eroded structure is shaped like an ancient disc and has myriad sigils engraved upon its surface. It is trimmed with gold and other valuable materials. You notice a number of balconies and chambers built into the cliffside near this structure, providing what you presume to be a stunning vista of the sea, the beaches and the town itself. At the outskirts of the town lies an impressive black stone temple, a ziggurat-like structure. You see it is adorned with grinning visages of ornately decorated skulls, and symbols of boats and ferries are etched into the stonework. You can also see a wide terrace with an impeccable view of the Gulf. A perfect spot for taking in the sea breeze and watching the sunset. As you approach the town, a massive pair of structures in the form of best way I can describe this is two stylized stone dragon heads, gilded with the gold catches your eye. And they stand atop these rocky outcroppings looming over the town. Waterfalls cascade down the cliffside, past either of them, turning these enormous stone water wheels as they do so. Itzel's location is a cove on a rocky coastline, and the white sandy beaches extend out from either side of the town. The crystal clear water gently laps the shores. Tropical vegetation, such as palm trees, sway in the breeze, adding to the beauty of the scene. The bustle of the city is audible even from here, and you can smell the wafts of fragrant spices and foods that you've never smelled before. The streets are lined with distant shops and vendors, selling exotic wares such as silk and spices. The sound of rushing water fills the air, creating a peaceful and calming, picturesque atmosphere. Welcome to Itzel, the playground of the rich and wealthy of the Tahosian dynasty. And that's where we'll leave off.
Yay.
Ooh.
I got two things I want to say as we're wrapping up. One, I am so goddamn certain there's going to be some kind of evil plotline thing going on.
We're too used to that. I think that's a bad thing.
No, I mean, like,
It'll be fine.
it's the playground for the rich and the powerful. Like, there has to be something brewing under surface, even if it's just mild discontent about, oh no, I have to work in the sweltering heat without any magic cooling.
I mean, even if there are bad folk here, you don't shit where you eat.
True.
That's very true.
It's just the playground of the rich and famous. It's like now looking at the lifestyles of the rich and famous. You guys remember that show?
Yeah.
Yep.
That old ass show.
Through the keyhole.
It's like, let's go through the Queen's chambers. No.
You do an obnoxious British accent so well.
That's that British? I have no idea. I'll just have to take your word for it.
All
I've
right.
never heard someone.
I mean, it's offensively British.
All right.
Kind of like
I'm gonna stop recording here in 3, 2, 1.